My name's David Avitia. I'm a catcher, and you're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hey, if the Birds are playing baseball, then we're talking into microphones, sitting on chairs for, of course, the Birds Eye View pregame show. Scotty Gange, I'll be your host once again, alongside the team beat reporter Alec Hendon. Alec, it's great to be back at the ball yard.
Absolutely, Scotty. It's been way too long since we've had our game, and under great conditions here today. The sun is shining in Katuitt. Beautiful setting here at Lowell Park. I'm ready to get going. I'm fired up.
He's fired up. If you've been following the Orleans Firebirds, you know that the last week or so has been frustrating. But if you haven't been, a bit of a breakdown. Yesterday, the game was supposed to be against Chatham, of course, at Eldridge Park, the first rivalry game of the 2019 season. Rain fell from the air, no baseball, here we are today. Last week, several rainouts, and for the first time since last Wednesday, we're at a away ball game.
And just like last Wednesday, Adam Seminaris is going
to look at how he did that.
Going to be towing the rubber for the Firebirds.
Yeah, we planned that a little bit. That was good, huh? Nice show.
That baby.
So a bit of a breakdown on Sunday, the last time the Birds saw the field, the doubleheader, 2 1-0 wins over the Wareham Gatemen. Game 1, of course, the deep fly, walk-off, home run, solo shot by Ray Gill. Game 2, in the third inning, a solo shot by Shea Whitcomb. Two baseballs hit over the fence for 2 wins and 4 points for the Firebirds. How big is that for them?
It's huge. You always want to take advantage when you have the home games, and you have 2 home games against a good Wareham team where they had a frustrating tie the last time they played them. It's pretty impressive. You can throw 14 innings and shut a team out. So tons of credit goes to the pitching staff. But I think if you ask the offense, they want to do a little bit more. But they're going to take the victories and be like, okay, we have these victories, but we have more work that we want to get done.
Yeah, going to talk about the immaculate pitching staff when Josh White comes on at the end of the Bird's Eye View pregame show. We're also going to be talking to a player today. It's going to be very exciting. That's a surprise. So you're going to have to wait till after Alec comes on. After this guy gets out of here, we're going to get somebody else in this big seat. But something that you have to break down, and Alec, I'll ask you on this, is the offense. They left a lot on the table on Sunday. Of course, the 2 wins is great. But what do we expect to see different after the 2 off days for the Firebirds?
Well, I think as a team, they've been very reliant on the home run ball, which obviously when you win 1-0 games, it works out just fine. But you want to be able to build the bigger innings. Like when they beat Hyannis, they had a 3-run inning where they got 4 consecutive hits to get the offense rolling and take advantage of that early lead to beat Hyannis. So I think they're going to want to do more of getting on base and just finding hits, being maybe a little more aggressive in the count. Because one thing I say this offense has done really well is taking their walks. I believe they lead the Cape League in walks taken as an offense, which is a very positive sign. They're wearing down the opposing pitchers that they face, and that typically will bode well for the offense. But when you get those walks and you get those free bases, you got to get the big hit together, man.
You talk about walks, and that really reminds me of the team that Orleans is playing today in the Katuitt Cavaliers. Nick Gonzalez, he'll be in the lineup today. He's got 10 walks, 4 hit by pitches. He leads the Cape League in that. He's also a phenomenal hitter at the plate, hitting over 270. With him and the rest of the Katuitt lineup, what are we expecting to see out of them?
Well, I think they're going to try to do what the Firebirds do so well and be patient and make Adam Seminaris work. He hasn't allowed an earned run yet in the Cape in 2 starts. They're going to want to put a dent in that, so they're going to probably want to be patient. But if Adam Seminaris is doing what he did in his first 2 games and pounding the strike zone, it could be a long day for Katuitt at the plate.
Could be a long day. Nick Gonzalez also 2 home runs on the season. But the story, of course, last Sunday was the pitching staff. Josh White's going to come on later, but Noah Skuro and I caught up with him after the game, after his phenomenal start on Sunday. Check it out. 2 starts in a row, 2 fantastic outings tonight, 3 innings pitched, no earned runs. What was working so well for you on the mound tonight?
Fastball command was really good. I had my slider today, which was nice, and mixing in some change-ups, keeping them off balance.
I want to take you back to your final out. There was 2 outs. Darren Baker, one of the fastest guys in the Cape, was on third base, or the leadoff guy was on third base. Darren Baker, one of the best hitters in the Cape, was at the plate. You could have easily pitched around him, tried to locate. There was an open bag, but you went right to him and got 3 strikes for a strikeout. Is that how you approach the game in terms of aggressiveness?
Yeah, I mean, I just think if my stuff's on, I have a chance against anybody, and as long as I'm in the zone, then I'm competitive and just go right after them.
You let out a loud grunt on that final fastball that you threw him by. Was that you mustered up all your strength on that one?
Yeah, I was trying to run it by him, just trying to get it in there and run it by him. So.
Well, it worked out, and this time, last Sunday when you played against Bourne, it was a 2-1 loss, and here you get a 1-0 win. Is it nice to be on this end of the game?
Absolutely, yeah. Hate losing, but be on the winning side is great.
Pitching 3 innings, watching 4 more with different relieving pitchers come in and save the day, really, and close things out for you. How much confidence does that give you in this team?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, you know that you can come out of the game, and if you got a lead, it's going to stay there. And if if you're losing, I mean, just let the offense work because they're not going to score too many more.
Command was working. Do you find that after you pitch in a game, you're a little more invested in it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, when you've played in the game, you're in it more because you've been a part of it, whereas you're just on the bench, you're just kind of hanging out, just watching.
You'll get that opportunity to hang out, kind of relax. You get a big off day. Everybody does tomorrow. What's in store for you in the next 5 or 6 days as you're not going to be on the bump?
Get my lifts in, get some dry work in, some throwing in, and hopefully get on the golf course a little bit.
All right, I love that. No, I went on the Wareham broadcast, and I talked about the heck of a mane of a beard you have today, and they were blown away by it. So fantastic job there, fantastic job today. It's like. Coming up next, center fielder and leadoff man Zach Daniels joins the show. Excited to have the leadoff man today out in center field, Mr. Zach Daniels, joining our Bird's Eye View pregame show. First off, thanks for the time.
Thank you for having me.
You excited for today? We're two days off, finally playing baseball again.
Yes, finally. We got some good weather.
Yeah,
Sun's out.
It's beautiful, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me. I feel like we're at like this, it's a small world Disneyland field of the Cape Cod League because all these like buildings around here. Do you feel the same?
Yes.
It's so
yes.
weird.
It's just like small town, like old town.
Yeah.
Old town setup, like nothing. There's no Applebee's.
I feel like I should get a huge like soft serve or something.
Yeah,
here.
it's like their own world out here.
I gotta ask you. Every time I look at you, you're laughing.
Yeah.
What's so funny?
I just like to have fun playing baseball. That's about it.
It looks like you have a lot of fun. All these guys have a lot of fun.
Yes.
What's the most fun part in playing baseball for you?
Learning from different guys, just playing every day, and then just having fun in and out the dugout and just hanging out with new guys from all over.
You like playing baseball. You also like playing with Legos.
Yeah, I do.
Tell me
I do
about
like
that.
Legos. I like Legos ever since I was a little kid. So
Was there like a tipping point, like a specific day where you were like, do you know what? Legos are sick.
I think it was just ever since once I figured out what I could do with the Legos, like building spaceships from my own mind, just putting them together and stuff like that.
And it still reigns true today.
Yeah, I do love them. I don't have any with me though.
Oh,
that's the sad
That's
part.
a long summer.
Yeah, I know. That's a long summer.
All right, I'll track you back. If there's one specific Lego Starship, Battle Star, whatever thing that you made that you're most proud of, is there one you could pick out?
Yes, there's one that I made from scratch. Like I took some parts that were in the instructions and then added some new stuff that I wanted from my mind, my imagination, and I really liked it. It was a lot of fun doing it.
What did it look like?
It was like a spaceship, but it had like it was almost like a baseball for like the cruise ship, almost where the driver would sit.
Okay.
And but it was orange. And it was like a little globe that he sat in.
Whoa.
For where like.
You send that into like BMW or anything like that?
No, I didn't. I should have.
Yeah.
I should have.
It seems like it kind of stirs the creativity portion of your brain. Do you feel like that at all translates to baseball or anything like that today?
It could. Just having fun with it and just taking little things that you can pick out to have fun with in the game.
I noticed you have lots of wristbands on. What do those mean to you, if there's anyone specifically?
One of them just says strength, integrity, passion, which we got from Tennessee, just having strength and integrity in Christ, and then just passion for whatever you're passionate about.
What are you passionate about?
Christ, baseball, and family.
Tell me about your family.
Family's from New Jersey, so they're up here. I think they're gonna come today. If
Really?
not today, tomorrow, and they're up till Sunday. But my mom and my dad are from New Jersey. My dad grew up in New York though, and then they moved down to Georgia that's where I'm from.
That was pretty cool. Normally when I ask different players what they're passionate about, they go, Do you know what? Yes, and you were right away.
Yeah.
Christ, family, baseball. That's
Yes.
pretty awesome.
Yes.
Has it always been that way for you?
Yes.
That's really cool, man. Let's touch on baseball before I know we got a fun game today. What are you looking for out of yourself?
I'm just looking to improve every day. Improve every day, having fun while you're doing it. Because if you don't have fun, then what are you doing it for?
It's a waste of time if you're not having fun.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Are you having fun?
Yes, definitely.
On a scale of 1 to 10, like 10?
Oh, 11.5.
11.5. Are you kidding me? This guy's having 11.5% or out of 10 fun.
Yes.
Hey, go have some fun. It's a great day for baseball, man. Appreciate your time. Zach Daniels. He'll be the first batter today for the Orleans Firebirds with a smile on his face.
Donovan Benoit. I'm a right-handed pitcher, and a fun fact about me is I lived in 5 different states and 8 different cities.
Hi, my name is Zach Akoska. I play outfield, and you're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
My name is AJ Lewis. I'm a utility player for the Orleans Firebirds, and you're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
It's a long way to the top. It's fantastic. If there's music playing in the air, there's baseball about to be played. broadcaster Josh White hanging in here. We've got an exciting game today, Josh. Katuitt and Orleans.
Yeah, first time this summer they'll meet. First of 4 meetings, and best part about it, there's no rain, not a cloud in the sky. Great music going on here at Lowell Park.
Dude, I'm loving it. I'm sitting back in the chair. Normally I'm sitting right up here.
It's a great vibe. It's a great vibe.
It's a good day for baseball. If you're going to stream our broadcast, he's going to be on the call alongside Thomas Zinzarilla. It's going to be fantastic. And let's talk about this upcoming game. On the mound for Orleans today, me and Alec Hendon talked about it a little bit earlier. Adam Seminaris, he's been outstanding. The epitome of outstanding.
Yeah, you look up outstanding in the dictionary, a photo of Adam Seminaris is right there.
That's good.
He's been that good. 24 consecutive innings without allowing an earned run dating back to Long Beach State. You know the last time he gave up an earned run? May 10th.
May 10th?
May 10th. I was 20 years old back then.
This guy's 21. You ever heard of that?
That's been a while, man. It's been some time since Seminaris has had a bad outing, and he's been that dominant on the Cape. Just throws strikes, doesn't overpower hitters, but he's really been the ace of this staff so far.
So if you've been following last week's game, that was at Hyannis, of course, Orleans won. Adam Seminaris pitched great, 3 2/3. He would have gone the full 4, but got a line shot right into, I believe it was his quad area. It went on the ground. It was very scary, but luckily for him, luckily for the Firebirds and really everybody, he was okay. He walked off the field on his own power, but a scary moment for sure.
Yeah, absolutely a scary moment. Looked great his first outing, 5 scoreless, just allowed a couple of hits. Then he was going to be a little shorter in outing number 2, and Kelly Nicholson made that clear from the onset. He was going to go 4, was 1 out away. I think he was 1 or 2 strikes away from getting through 4, and then just that hot shot right back up the middle. Probably the hardest ball that's been hit off of him all
we
summer.
Check the stat.
We got to check TrackMan.
Yeah, that's it, TrackMan or whatever.
It is what it is. Glad he's okay, and he'll be back out there today.
So something you also have to follow for the Firebirds today. Of course, 2 games on Sunday. Nobody really pitched that much. Both starters pitched 3 innings, and everybody came in 1 inning at a time in terms of relievers. Everybody is hot. 2 days off after that. How does that change, you believe, Kelly Nicholson and Matt Troop's planning for today?
Honestly, I don't think it changes a single thing, Scotty, to be honest with you. I think Adam Seminaris is going to go 4, maybe 5 innings. Then it'll be a bullpen. That's going to be the same bullpen we've seen, an inning here, an inning there.
Right.
Knowing Kelly Nicholson, and especially early in the season, we're now a quarter way through, he's still getting to know his guys and rotate guys. It's not, this is my guy, I'm riding him in the 6th, I'm going to this guy in the 7th. This guy's a setup man, this guy's our closer every single game. It's Cape Cod. You're going to rotate your guys. If I have it right, the next 2 guys up are Michael Hobbs and Cam Fields, 2 righties that I think those might be the first 2 guys in the ballgame for Orleans today, and then some other combination from there on the back end.
We love talking about the Orleans Firebirds, but to fill everybody in, let's talk about the Katuitt Kettleers. They're starting Joe Nahas on the mound tonight.
Yeah, big right-hander from Georgia Southern. 3rd school in as many years, but he's a guy who doesn't necessarily overpower too many hitters. 90-93 with the fastball, has a good breaking ball as a secondary pitch. But he started his freshman year at UMBC, got rocked to an over 16 ERA, went the JUCO route. Georgia Southern figured it out here on the Cape, and he's making his 3rd appearance for Katuitt, his first start. We'll see how he fares here at Lowell Park.
None of his 3 appearances, or first 2 appearances, were over 3 innings, although he does post a quality he posts a quality ERA. Only gave up 2 runs in all of his appearances so far this season. Kettleers offense, they're very good, led by a couple strong guys. What do we know about them?
I think Nick Gonzalez is the first guy that your eyes go right to. He's reached base. He's reached base in every single game so far in Cape Cod, and he did that at New Mexico State this past season. Hit above 400, top 10 nationally in average. And even if you're at New Mexico State, you're at Sheboygan, Wisconsin, Kansas, I don't know where it is, wherever you're going to school.
That's where Chicken Joe is from.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Wherever you're going to school, Arizona State, University of Miami, it doesn't matter. You hit above 400, you're doing something right. You had 16 home runs, above 70 RBIs. That's the guy you want in your lineup. He's the main guy that's kind of plugged in there. Yeah. The other guy I'm excited to see is Onaja Anu. And it's a great name, I know.
Name.
He's gonna make the Cape Cod Baseball League all-name team. He's a guy that's transferring to Kentucky. He's a toolsy player. He's really been the DH for Katuitt so far. They've relied on the long ball a lot. They're one of the teams towards the top of the Cape in home runs. It flies out at Lowell Park sometimes, but you can get it up there. I think Scotty Gaines could even hit a home run here.
Oh man, not even close. I could ground out here, that's for sure. But hey, it's time for baseball. Taylor Swift is up top. Before we play, I would feel awful if I didn't recognize that. Max Troiani of the Firebirds, he's hitting .378. He leads the Cape Cod League in average, and it's just been phenomenal. We're going to get to see him. We're going to get to listen to him because it's time for some baseball here at Lowell Park. It's Katuitt and Orleans.
The Orleans Firebirds look for their 3rd consecutive victory for the first time since 2017 as the Firebirds head west today to Lowell Park to take on the first place Katuitt Kettleers. With that, we welcome you here to Katuitt, Massachusetts alongside Thomas Inzarella. I'm Josh White. Just about to set this ball game rolling. Joe Nahas, the right-hander out of Georgia Southern on the bump. Zach Daniels in from the right side. Righty on righty matchup. Nahas's first pitch out of the windup. Fastball misses low for ball one. And we are underway at 5:01 p.m. Birds entered tonight's ball game with 13 points, tied for second in the East, 6-4-1. Katuitt tied for first in the West, 6-5-1 with 13 points. Here's the 1-0 to Daniels, fastball up and in at 92, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. We'll show you the Orleans lineup tonight for Kelly Nicholson. Would have been the same starting 9 we saw last night for the Firebirds. That game got rained out at home against Chatham. The Anglers and the Firebirds will have to wait for another week to meet for the first time. 2-0 pitch, fastball cut on and missed, and it's 2-1. 94-mile-an-hour heater from Nahas. Nahas on the year, making his 4th appearance for the Kettleers, first start. He's 0-1 with a 2.25 ERA. Expected to go about 3 to 4 innings in this start, not much further than that. 2-1 pitch. Fastball paints the outside corner, and it's 2-2. Zach Daniels, the batter, rising junior at Tennessee. He's batting $174. Playing in his 10th game for the Firebirds so far this summer. 1-0 for 5 with a pair of strikeouts against Wareham during the doubleheader on Sunday. Here's the 2-2 home. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. Nahas blows the heater at 99 on the gun past Daniels. That might be not exactly where the gun might have picked it up, but there's one away.
Well, Nahas does have that strikeout material as well, as picked up 13 punch-outs in 8 innings so far on the Cape season.
So that's a legit 94 on that last pitch, not 99 like the radar showed, and probably expected on that. Righty on lefty matchup. 0-1 to Kokoska, breaker that catches the inside corner, and it's quickly 0-2. First meeting of 4 between the Firebirds and the Kettleers this summer. The next one will come on Friday at Eldridge Park, 7 p.m. first pitch. Beg your pardon, here's the 0-1. It's a fastball hit the other way, slicing past the shortstop Oviedo. He fields it, throw on the run, not in time. Zach Kokoska an infield single, and the Birds have their first base hit of the evening.
Would have been a tough play for the shortstop Oviedo. Made a real close play over there as Kokoska got a good piece of wood on off the edge of the barrel, slicing in towards the hole on the left side, and Oviedo throwing across the body, but Kokoska able to beat it out.
So that'll bring up Tanner Murray, the third baseman from UC Davis. And offense has been a little bit of a struggle for the Firebirds. They've really relied on their pitching staff. Orleans tops in the Cape in ERA at around 258. They've thrown the most shutouts. 5 of their first 6 victories have been of the shutout variety. Check over from Nahas on Kokoska at first base, but he dives back in. No score here in the top of the first. A runner on and 1 out between the Firebirds and the Kettleers. Nahas 91-93 with that fastball. Going to flash a curveball in the low to mid-80s. First pitch to Murray. Fastball cut on and missed at 96 for strike 1. Murray just batting $174, starting his 8th consecutive game for the Birds. Hit a home run, his lone RBI so far this summer. But a very talented young man out of UC Davis. All Big West First Coast selection. 0-1, fastball up in the zone that Murray fanned through. 95 on the radar gun, and Nahas really blowing out the smoke from the right arm.
Well, that 95 upstairs is more like 98, 99 up there, so tough for a hitter to get, especially a wood bat around, to try to make contact.
Kokoska hasn't attempted a stolen base yet this summer. Did swipe 8 this past season at Kansas State. Nahas set from the third base side, snap throw to first base, and Kokoska steps back in. Give it the Katuitt defensive alignment. The outfield from left to right, Parker Shavers, Cam Hill, and Christian Robinson. The infield, Casey Schmidt at third, Adam Oviedo at short, Nick Gonzalez, the second baseman, Mason McWhorter making his Cape Cod Baseball League debut at first, and Colton Kessler, the battery mate to Joe Nahas. The 0-2. Fastball misses up and away, and it's 1-2. Nahas pitching at his third school in as many seasons. Started his freshman year at UMBC. Made 6 appearances out of the bullpen, just over 7 2/3. Got tagged pretty hard, 16.43 ERA. Decided to go to JUCO, went to Chesapeake College before finding his way to Georgia Southern this past season. 1-2. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. Another high hitter at 94, blown past an Orleans Firebird. And that's the second K of the afternoon for Nahas. There's 2 away.
Well, Nahas has his stuff working early, fighting back in a couple of counts, but get ahead of Murray here. Had him in the hole 0-2, and well, went right back to the fastball. That's what has been cooking for him so far early on in this game.
It's now the man who leads the Cape Cod Baseball League in hitting, Max Troiani, will dig in from the right side. Troiani batting .378 so far through the first quarter of the season. First pitch, Kokoska running, breaking ball up in the zone. Throw down from Kessler, not in time. So Zach Kokoska steals second base on the curveball that missed upstairs. And the Birds are runner in scoring position with 2 away.
Well, looked like the catcher, Kessler as well, was almost not ready to throw down there towards second. A little off foot to start things off, but then able to get a good throw down there at second base, almost nabbing Kokoska.
Birds looking to strike first here in Catuit, with Orleans and Catuit scoreless in the in the top of the first. 1-0. Fastball paints the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Let's give you the umpires tonight. Tom Ryberg calling balls and strikes. Rick Emerson at first. Dave Viveros at third. Troiani not only first in the Cape with that .378 batting average, has 14 hits, which is tied across the league. 13 of those 14 singles. 1-1 will be held up. Nahas steps off the rubber just to look back. Kokoska to second base.
All the Firebirds here need here is a single. Could drive in a run.
That's really what Troiani has done, and he's had his hits in bunches as well. 6 multi-hit performances in the first 9 games. Righty on righty matchup, the 1-1. It's a fastball cut on and missed, and it's 1-2. And for Troiani out of Bentley, usually not the place you see a baseball powerhouse. Not at the Division I level, but Troiani used a wood bat year-round. Said there wasn't much of an adjustment. Hit .305 this past season for Bentley with 9 home runs. Haven't quite seen the gap-to-gap power yet on the Cape.
Well, going back to that doubleheader on Sunday, in each game he had a single in the first inning, so he's got that streak going for him as well.
He does, riding a 4-game hit streak as well, looking to make it 5 right here. Kokoska being held on at second by Nick Gonzalez. Boy, will he be a treat to see at the dish when Catuit comes to play. Troiani trying to break this scoreless tie in the first. Kokoska dancing off second. Nahas glances a look. Here's the 1-2. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. Nahas gives up an infield single but strikes out the side here in the first inning, and boy, does his fastball look lively. Firebirds score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. What did the home half of the first? No score between Orleans and Catuit. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Orleans then Catuit, scoreless as we head to the home half of the first. And the best pitching team in the Cape will have their ace on the mound, Adam Seminaire, set to make his 3rd start of this summer. And boy, is the southpaw from Cal State Long Beach been special so far, Thomas.
Well, he definitely has. You talk about the ace for this team. Well, he started the season for the Firebirds. He continues to pitch well for these for Kelly Nicholson, and he's a guy who likes to pound the zone early and often as well. Loves to get ahead in counts, get guys quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. And we saw him the first game of the season, his first matchup against Bourne, 54 pitches through 5 through 40 strikes. I mean, those are just numbers you don't see very often. But Seminaris has proven so far in his last start against Hyannis as well. Pitched 3 2/3 of good baseball and ended up, unfortunately, obviously didn't get the victory, but he's a guy that, again, has been sharp year so far.
Seminaris 1-0 on the year, has not given up an earned run, has thrown 24 consecutive innings without allowing an earned run, dating back to the spring season on May 10th. So he's been dialed in for this Orleans pitching staff that will go against a hot Katuitt offense with Christian Robinson, the right fielder out of Stanford, to lead things off. Robinson, a rising junior, originally from Orlando, will dig in from the left side. Just playing in his 3rd game in a Katuitt uniform. Katuitt with their home white uniforms, pinstripes, and the maroon. Top and bottom, maroon lettering across the chest. Lefty on lefty matchup, the first pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner for strike 1. Robinson 2 for his first 6. Picked up a double against Chatham a couple nights ago. Seminaris out of the windup. Here's the 0-1. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and it's 0-2. Seminaris not going to overpower hitters. Won't really throw it above the 90-mile-an-hour mark. But he just paints both parts of the plate and continues to throw strikes. A deep breath from the southpaw. Here's the 0-2. Fastball misses outside, and it's 1-2. Seminaris sitting about 86 miles an hour with the heater so far, but tons of movement. Starts on the inside part of the plate and drifts out. Robinson with his left foot on the back line of the batter's box. 1-2 from Seminaris. Fastball hit the other way. Diving stop by the third baseman. Murray gets to his feet. Sidearm throw to first base in time. A web gem by Tanner Murray to take away a leadoff base knock for Christian Robinson, and there's 1 away.
Well, there's a reason why also that Orleans has had the best pitching so far here in the Cape. It's the defense behind him. Tanner Murray has been a big part of that as well, going back to that doubleheader on Sunday, making a couple spectacular plays, backhand plays, and the whole back on the line. I mean, he has just been fun to watch.
So Seminaris gets some help from his defense. And now Nick Gonzalez the batter. First pitch, a fastball that misses low for ball 1. Gonzalez out of New Mexico State. Batting .257 with a couple of long balls and 8 RBIs to start his summer. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner, and it's 1-1. But what makes Nick Gonzalez such a dangerous hitter, he leads the Cape in walks so far. 10 walks across the first 12 games for Gonzalez. Really a 5-tool player. Lefty on righty matchup, the 1-1. It's a breaking ball that's cut on and missed, and it's 1-2. First breaker we've seen so far this afternoon from Seminaris. Dropped it in there around 80 miles an hour on the outside part of the plate. There's not much else you can say about Nick Gonzalez, one of the best players in the country. 1-2 from Seminaris. Fastball on the inside corner, ring him up, strike 3. Seminaris paints the inner half. Gonzalez leaves the bat on the shoulder, and there's 2 away.
Well, going back to, you talked about Seminaris not overpowering guys, but really able to place his fastball really anywhere around the plate, anywhere he wants to hit the mid of a Vita, and, well, proved that so far in the early goings.
Now Casey Schmidt, the batter, the third baseman out of San Diego State, with 2 away in the home half of the first and a scoreless ball game. Here's the first pitch from Seminaris. Fastball misses low and inside for ball 1. Schmidt off to a slow start, just batting $161 over the first 9 games he's played in. But an all Mountain West second team selection for San Diego State this past season. Lefty on righty matchup. Here's the 1-0. Breaker misses low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Talked about how sharp this Orleans pitching staff has been so far this summer. Not only have they been sharp without the advice of Al Leiter, now they spoke to the great Al Leiter yesterday at Eldridge Park. 10th year he's talked to the Orleans Firebirds. 2-0. Fastball, high chopper to the left side. Another great stop by Murray running towards his left. High throw pulled down by Gill. He applies the tag, and the side is retired. Couple impressive plays by the Orleans defense as Seminaires tosses 0-1 to 3 inning. We're through one complete inning here at Lowell Park. Orleans nothing and Katuitt nothing. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Scotty Gage. Scotty?
I feel like there's 3 points we got to push out for today. The first one, you guys were here earlier before the game, several hours before. Katuitt wins the award for Best Music pregame. God, it was good. It was really good.
Wow.
I was feeling it, man. I really was.
Okay.
Yeah, so at least right now, they've got the award for the best pregame music. I was getting jived up. Alec even said he was pumped up. Alec said he was pumped up. Are you kidding me? That was fantastic. All right, number 2, you might wonder why the Kettleers are called the Kettleers, so I went to the good old Wikipedia. The Kettleers nickname, it's credited to Ed Semprini. He was a former sports editor for the Cape Cod Standard-Times, and it was actually based on a barter between early area settlers and Native Americans involving a brass kettle. That's all I know, but I could guess, I would say that just like our broadcast, that barter was #live, guys.
we are live right now,
We are live, as was the barter.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I threw that one out.
That's some live content right there.
Yeah, oh yeah. And number 3, wow, what a fantastic day for baseball. I know we don't have the camera on us. We're at an away game, of course, radio. But to folks across the country, you guys should be very, very jealous of us today. It's absolutely fantastic. The sun is out. I'm going to roll the sleeves up, try to get rid of my farmer's tan. What a day. Alec, get out of the shade, man. Come on.
With the new polo shirt, too, Scott.
I'm rocking the new polo shirt. I've gotten like 4 compliments.
So we'll head to the top of the second inning here at Katuitt after that fantastic hit from Mr. Scotty Gage. With the Firebirds and the Kettleers scoreless, Eddie McCabe will lead off the second, set to face Joe Nahas, the big right-hander out of Georgia Southern. McCabe digs in from the right side. Here's the first pitch from Nahas. Fastball up in the zone at 91, cut on and missed for strike 1. Nahas very sharp in that first inning, struck out the side and worked around a one-out single by Zach Kokoska. Scotty mentioned the word live, and that's really what the arm of Nahas has been so far today. 0-1 pitch. Breaker that bounces low, and it's 1-1. Nahas with that fastball so far, touching 94 miles an hour, but has kept the Firebirds off balance, really mixing the eye level today. Here's the 1-1. It's a curveball that misses low and in, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So McCabe in a good hitter's count, the shortstop out of Georgetown, batting .235 to start the summer. Nahas working out of the windup, the 2-1. Fastball check swing from McCabe. He went around, and it's 2-2. It's tough to lay off that heater. It's showing up 93, 94 on the gun, but it's got a lot of action coming out of the right-handed Nahas. Nahas looking for his 4th K in the first 5 batters. 2-2. Fastball tipped back off the mask of Kessler. He's not able to hold on, and we'll do it again.
Well, you mentioned that fastball having a lot of movement. You know, going back to Omaha, actually, I saw that they have the umpire camp. So we talked about a couple of things. We have ideas for the Cape, you know. Instant
umpire camp.
replay from Hyannis, and now the umpire camp.
How about we get 3? So, how about we get 4 umpires first?
4 umpires, yeah.
Well, we're only cooking with 3 at the moment. Haas looking for that 4th strikeout. Here's the pitch. Fastball skied down the right side out of play, and we'll do it again. The other thing, this is the direction I thought you were going in with that. Talking about Omaha, a bird signee, if you will, Kumar Rocker. Last night for Vanderbilt, struck out 5 of the first 6 he faced. Haas trying to do the same right here, the 2-2. Curveball misses low and outside, and the count runs full. Orleans and Katuitt tied at 0 here in the top of the second. McCabe 1 for 3 day against Wareham in the doubleheader. Just played in game number 1, in which Orleans swept both games 1-0. 3-2. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. Strikeout number 4 by Joe Nahas. He has struck out the last 3, and there's 1 away.
All of them swinging as well. So Nahas, some of these Firebirds hitters have worked some counts like McCabe and Daniels, but really, Nahas has been on his A game so far here in the second inning.
So Raymond Gill will dig in from the right side, the hero from game 1 of that doubleheader. Birds were down to their final strike in the 7th before heading into extras, and Gill smacked a walk-off homer. First pitch, a 79-mile-an-hour curveball that bounces low for ball 1. Ray now batting .273 to start the summer. 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. Over at first base once again with Rob Emery taking a seat on the bench. 0-1. Fastball misses upstairs. Beg your pardon, 1-0 misses upstairs. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Birds have been a little feast or famine with the long ball so far this summer. They had a couple on Sunday, one by Ray, and then one by Shea Whitcomb, who's in the 9th spot today for the Firebirds. 2-0 the count to the Birds' 6-hole hitter. Here's the pitch. Fastball cut on and missed, and it's 2-1. And Nahas has had that fastball over the heart of the plate, just saying, here it is, try and hit it. The Birds have been pretty unsuccessful in trying to time that heater up. Nahas out of the windup, the 2-1. Fastball misses low and outside, but called a strike, and it's 2-2.
Ray Gill leading in that right-hander's batter's box, believing that was outside.
Looked like it might have grazed the chalk line of the left-handed batter's box, but nonetheless called a strike. Nahas looking to strike out 5 of his first 6 on the mound. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball tapped to the left side. The shortstop Oviedo glides to his left. Throw on the run to first base. Big stretch by McWhorter. Off the back. So an infield single, potentially an error for Katuitt. We'll see how that one scored, but the Birds a 1-out base runner.
Well, sometimes that's all you need. Just put the ball in play, and sometimes it can work out just how it's worked out so far for Orleans. You know, Nahas has been dealing on the mound, and besides Kokoska's infield single, that's only the second ball put in play by a Firebirds hitter today.
So now make it an E6 charged against Adam Oviedo, which is the right call. Went from a single momentarily on the scoreboard here at Lowell Park to an E6. Danny Cerretti, the batter for the Firebirds. Righty on lefty matchup, the first pitch. Fastball misses up and away for ball 1. Cerretti, a switch-hitting middle infielder from North Carolina. Just playing in his 3rd game as an Orleans Firebird. Well, for his first 4, but Cerretti, a sharp freshman campaign for the Tar Heels. An all-ACC freshman team honoree. Nahas set at the belt. Checks on Gill at first. The 1-0. Breaker misses upstairs. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Cerretti was part of a North Carolina team that made a deep run into the Super Regionals, was in Omaha the year prior. But Cerretti and Aaron Sabato, 2 very talented freshmen for the Tar Heels this past season. First pair to make the all-freshman team since 05. 2-0. Fastball misses up and in. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Sabato went on to be named the ACC Freshman of the Year and one of the best players in the country as a true freshman. But Cerretti not too bad in his own right. Number 2 shortstop in the state of New Jersey coming out of high school by perfect game. He's got a good 3-0 count right here. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses up and away, ball 4. So after Gill reached on an error, Danny Cerretti works out a 4-pitch walk. He's aboard for the first time as an Orleans Firebird, and the Birds threatening with 2 on and 1 out here in the 2nd.
Well, that at-bat to Cerretti, or the pitch sequence, has really been an anomaly for Nahas on the mound. He's really been going at hitters and just lost his command there for a second against Cerretti.
So now David Avidia, the catcher from Grand Canyon, will dig in from the right side. Big spot for Avidia in the 8th spot. Just 2 for his first 18, but the Birds threatening early. Righty on righty matchup. Nahas checks on Gill at second. Here's the first pitch. Fastball misses upstairs for ball 1. Make it 5 consecutive balls for Joe Nahas after striking out 4 of the first 5 batters he faced. Orleans nothing, Katuitt nothing. 2 on and 1 out here in the top of the 2nd. Avidia picked up that 2nd hit of the summer in the first game of that doubleheader against Wareham. Birds have had a couple days off since. The 1-0. Fastball misses outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes, and it just seems like Nahas trying to overthrow and pulled off that fastball on the last one. Now Mike Roberts, in his 17th season with the Katuitt Kettleers, will walk out to the mound. Longtime North Carolina skipper. Coached a couple of years with the Wareham Gatemen way back when before coming to Katuitt.
Also coached as just a regular coach in the Chicago Cubs minor league system as well. It was funny, a former Firebirds broadcaster who works with the South Bend Cubs, a single A affiliate for the Chicago Cubs.
It took till game 12.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
He ran into Mike Roberts one day. So.
Wow. Well, we can shout him out by name if you want.
Brendan
Yeah,
King, I know
I'll give you the honors.
Brendan King, former Firebirds broadcaster in 2016, helped me get into broadcasting.
Should we shout out his buddy too?
Logan Raddick.
There you go.
And Hannah Hartman.
There you go.
Yeah, why not?
The trifecta.
The trifecta. That was the media squad back then. Now has grown.
They'll be up in Orleans.
They will.
In a few weeks. To see young Thomas and Zarella all grown up. Birds threatening here in the top of the second. Runners on first and second and one away. Here's Nahas's 2-0. Fastball in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. Great frame job by Kessler to get that ball in the strike zone. Avidia known more for his defense. I don't think there has been a single person in that first base dugout that hasn't raved about David Avidia defensively yet this summer. Nahas set at the belt. Glances over at Gill. And Avidia asks for time. And Nahas, a little meticulous on the mound when runners get on base. Comes set pretty quickly, but then tries to vary the amount of looks he gives to the runners. There's something that Al Leiter talked about yesterday with Orleans is never give the same amount of looks too many times in a row. 2-1 home. Fastball skied back by Avidia. Kessler giving chase, but this ball will run over the press box here at Lowell Park, and it's 2-2. And if I must say, this is probably my favorite West Division ballpark in the entire Cape Cod Baseball League. I don't even think it's close.
Yeah, definitely for sure. It's my favorite to come to as well. I just hope a ball doesn't hit my car down there. Small parking lot, otherwise you're parking on the street. So
you got to park far enough away, Thomas.
I did. Parked over by Matt Troop's minivan and almost broke down
wow.
on the way here.
Well, we passed Matt Troop on the highway to get here. New Orleans Firebirds pitching coach. 2-2 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. 5 punch outs for Joe Nahas. And he's still got to get out of the woods with 2 on and 2 out here in the second.
Big strikeout picked up there by Nahas. Obviously, as you mentioned, still a little bit of work left to do. But that's a key out here. Now making it 2 outs in the inning.
So Shea Whitcomb, the 9-hole hitter, will dig in from the right side. Whitcomb, the lone run in the second game of the doubleheader, a third inning solo shot, rang off the scoreboard at Aldridge Park. First pitch, fastball runs high and tight for ball 1. Orleans trying to break this scoreless tie with 2 on and 2 out here in the top of the second inning. Whitcomb just 2 for his first 15, but Kelly Nicholson after Sunday called him the best Division II hitter he has seen. Mike Roberts putting on a show outside the third base dugout. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball popped by Whitcomb into shallow left field. Shortstop Oviedo coming out. He'll make the grab on the infield dirt coming back in. So Nahas bounces back after an error and a walk as the Birds score no runs on no hits. 1 error and 2 runners left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the second. No score between Orleans and Kentuit. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Lowell Park. Orleans and Katuitt scoreless as we head to the home half of the second. Parker Shavers, the cleanup man, will lead things off for the Kettleers. Set to face Adam Simoneris, who continues to dazzle throughout his Cape Cod Baseball League career. 9 scoreless innings for Simoneris at a Cal State Long Beach. Lefty on lefty matchup. Here's the first pitch from Simoneris. Fastball right down the chute for strike 1. Simoneris not overpowering hitters, sitting with that fastball 84 to 89. Hasn't even touched 90 yet this evening. The 0-1 pitch from the southpaw. A breaker that's tapped foul, and it's quickly 0-2. Firebirds pitching staff as a whole haven't allowed a run in 19 2/3 innings. It's been quite some time since the Orleans pitching staff has been hit hard, almost a week at this point. Last gave up runs against the YD Red Sox at Eldridge Park through the thick fog. 0-2. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 3. Simoneris painted the outside edge. Shavers left the bat on the shoulder. It's Adams' second K, and there's one away.
Well, Simoneris not messing around. Fires the first pitch fastball, then the foul. Ball by Shavers at the plate, and then goes right back to the outside corner with the fastball and gets him looking.
So Adam Oviedo, the batter. The shortstop who's transferring to Oral Roberts University, spent the last 2 years at TCU. Here's the first pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses up and away for ball 1. Oviedo, part of some Orleans Katuitt history. Last year, game 1 of the 4-game set between the Firebirds and the Kettleers in the summer of 2018. Oviedo played his part. 1-0. Fastball smacked to the left side, right at the third baseman. Murray fields it on a couple bounces. Throw to first base in time. 5 up and 5 down for Adam Simoneris. But Oviedo against the Firebirds at Eldridge Park with the bases full in the 3rd inning of that first meeting of the summer. Just game 3 of the 2018 year. Hit a high fly ball down the left field line. Was hooking towards the foul pole and probably missed by about 8 to 10 feet foul, and it was called a grand slam. It is forever known as the foul slam among the Orleans and Katuitt sides. Here's the first pitch to Araja New. A fastball fouled back for strike 1. So Oviedo in summer number 2 with the Kettleers. We'll see if he's got some of the magic still left in that bat.
Well, next time he comes to Eldridge on Friday, then maybe we'll see a little of that.
2 quick outs here in the home half of the second in a scoreless ball game. 0-1. Breaker bounces low, and it's 1-1. Araja New out of Kentucky, originally from Orlando, Florida. Was just selected in the 16th round of the 2019 MLB draft by the Boston Red Sox. 1-1. Breaker that fools New, and it's quickly 1-2.
Well, it's interesting about New. He was drafted twice by the Red Sox, so I guess one thing is for sure. The Red Sox want him.
At some point, they might be able to get their hands on him.
Maybe 3rd time they'll try to draft him.
He'll be draft eligible twice more. 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses up and in, and it's 2-2. New just batting .229 to start the summer. Served primarily as the DH for the Kettleers. Has struggled as of late, just 0 for his last 11. The 2-2. Breaker tapped foul behind the dish, and we'll do it again. And strikeouts have been an issue for New. 13 Ks in 10 games. Has not drawn a walk yet. Not a good ratio if you're a hitter. If you're Adam Simoneris, you got the saliva sticking out of the left side of your mouth. Simoneris out of the windup. The 2-2. Fastball just missed outside. First one that touched 90 on the gun today from Adam, and the count runs full.
You could see Avidia trying to bring that ball back into the heart of the plate. Just couldn't quite get it in just enough.
So a lefty on righty matchup. 3-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball hot shot to the left side. Shortstop McCabe fields it on the roll and throws to first base in time. 6 up and 6 down for Adam Simoneris, who looks as sharp as ever for the Orleans Firebirds. Through 2 complete innings here at Lowell Park. No score between Orleans and Katuitt. Check out a couple of the highlights from the doubleheader against the Wareham Gatemen. The Firebirds took both games 1-0. Here's some of the highlights from Sunday. Count. The pitch, not running. Fastball hit hard up the middle. Glove by the shortstop McCabe. Underhand flipped to Soretti. On to first, a 6-4 3-inning ending double play. And hit it to the first base. Breaking ball hit hard and deep to left. And Tico chases and it's gone. Ray Gill walks it off for Orleans.
The University of Miami first baseman.
Firebirds 1, Dayton nothing.
Final pouring out of the first
It didn't take much. 1 run on just 4 hits
in the
for the
first 7
Firebirds.
innings. And Gill dropped his home plate. He is mobbed by all the water in the Sunflower Field ballpark as the Birds win it.
There's a 1-0 pitch. Wilcom sends one high in the air towards left field, towards the scoreboard. It's gone. And the Firebirds are back on the board here in Game 2. We can call this Firebirds team a solo home run machine because that's all they do too. First pitch to Darren Baker, right back to the third baseman. Tags the runner at third, throws across the diamond, and they got him. First pitch he sees, hits with a flare out towards center field, and it's right in at the center fielder. Daniels running off towards third base was Rudick, and throw back in.
Scoreless as we head to the top of the third here at Lowell Park. Second time around the lineup for the Orleans Firebirds, and Zach Daniels will lead things off. Joe Nahas sharp through the first time around the order. 5 strikeouts along the way. He struck out Daniels his first time up swinging. Righty on righty matchup to kick off the third inning. Joe Nahas from the third base side. Working out of the windup, here's the first pitch to Zach Daniels. Curveball drops in there for strike 1. Nahas has mainly worked with his fastball the first time around the order. Gunning in the heater, 90 to 94. Has shown an occasional breaking ball. The 0-1. It's another curve that ties up Daniels. Just looked like he had a sword and flung it forward, and it's 0-2. Strikeouts have been a problem for Daniels to start his Cape career. 10 Ks and now his 10th game. Struck out at nearly half his at-bats at Tennessee. Nahas ahead in the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Nahas blows the heater past Daniels, his 6th K, and there's 1 away.
Well, Nahas attacking with a pair of curveballs to start this at-bat. Thing goes right back to the fastball upstairs, has some life to it, and gets Daniels swinging.
It's now Zach Kokosko, who picked up the lone hit of this ball game, will dig in from the left side. A right-hander out of the windup, first pitch. Fastball rocketed to center field. Hill ranging back. He's got room. This ball in front of the track makes the one-handed grab with the shades pulled down for the second out of the inning.
Well, Kokoska caught the barrel on that one. Might have just gotten a hair under it. And just a casual fly ball out there for Hill in center.
So now Tanner Murray will quickly dig in from the right side. And Murray showed off the glove once again earlier in this ball game. A smooth stop at the hot corner, got up and threw a rocket to first base. He's been great defensively so far. First pitch, breaker bounces low for ball 1.
The Firebirds infield will come in on the grass.
Murray,
first pitch to
victim
Darren Baker, right back
up.
to the third baseman.
Swinging.
Tags
All
the runner at
6
third, throws
strikeouts
across
so
the
far.
diamond, and they got him.
Swinging. Righty on righty matchup. Nahas gets the sign. Now a deep breath. The 1-0. Fastball paints the outside corner, and it's 1-1. 2 quick outs to start the third inning with Orleans and Kentuit knotted up at 0 apiece. Infield and outfield straight away for the Cavaliers. Here's the 1-1. It's a breaker that's just an excuse-me swing by Murray to foul it off, and it's 1-2. Murray, a 3-sport athlete in high school, also starred on the football field and on the basketball court, but chose to play baseball at the collegiate level. Boulder Creek, California native, stayed in state, went to UC Davis. Now has made his way across the country to Cape Cod. Here's the 1-2. Fastball up in the zone at 94 miles an hour, and it's 2-2. It'll be interesting to see how Kelly Nicholson adjusts his lineup on a day-to-day basis. It appears that a couple more Birds will be activated tomorrow. Matt Goodhart and Zach Britton in town now for Orleans. Talented outfielder out of Arkansas. And a catcher from Louisville. 2-2 fouled back to the screen. And we'll do it again. 96 on the radar gun here at Lowell Park. Not only does Katuitt arguably have the best pregame playlist, according to Scotty Gange, they have the best snack shack without a doubt on the Cape. 2-2. Breaker just missed low and outside, and the count runs full. Gorgeous curveball that Nahas just tried painting the outside edge with. And it's 3-2. They've got the best snack shack, but the point I was going to make is their scouting area is fantastic if you're an MLB scout. 3-2 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. Nahas racks up a couple more Ks. He's got 7 through the first 3 innings, and he is dealing for the Kettleers. 5 retired in a row by the big right-hander from Georgia Southern. And through 2.5, it's the Birds nothing and the Kettleers nothing. Let's send it over to Scotty Gaines. Scotty, what's going on? Well, we apologize for technical difficulties. We'll head to a short break here at Lowell Park with the Birds and the Kettleers. Scoreless heading to the bottom of the third. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Six up and 6 down for Adam Seminaris. He'll head back out for the top of the third. Beg your pardon, the bottom of the third here at Lowell Park. Orleans and Katuitt scoreless, and it'll be 7, 8, and 9 for the Kettleers. 3 left-handed swingers against the southpaw, Adam Seminaris. Colton Kessler will lead things off in the bottom of the third. The catcher from Kentucky digs in from the left side. With the southpaw, Adam Seminaris set to toe the rubber. Here's the first pitch from the southpaw. Fastball paints the inside corner for strike 1. It's been 6 up and 6 down for Seminaris, has struck out 2 along the way, and his third start in the Orleans Red. Kessler just batting a $154 from the left side. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses low, and it's 1-1. Seminaris now 26 consecutive innings without allowing an earned run. That dates back to May 10th and his time with Long Beach State. Firebirds pitching staff as a whole now, 20 2/3 innings without allowing a run. 1-1. Breaking ball cut on and missed. Sharp curveball from Seminaris. Kessler couldn't connect, and it's 1-2.
And he has to be also one of the most efficient pitchers that I have seen out here. You know, now in his third inning work, so call it 2+ innings, he's at 25 pitches.
1-2 from Seminaris. Fastball misses outside, and it's 2-2. Heater at 87 on the radar gun at Lowell Park. Has only touched 90 once today. Mason McCorder, the first baseman, waiting on deck for his first licks in the Cape Cod Baseball League. The 2-2. Fastball rocketed the other way and out of play. Hardest one thrown by Seminaris today, 92. And obviously, velocity is a lot of the talk in today's game of baseball, but it's not everything you got to go with. Think of a guy like Greg Maddux has been the pinnacle of that example. Hall of Fame pitcher, arguably one of the best to ever do it. 2-2, slow-moving curveball from Seminaris, and Kessler goes fishing. 7 up and 7 down for Adam Seminaris, and his third strikeout.
Well, that big bender started near the bell terry and finished well out of the zone. Had a lot of movement on that from Seminaris, the curveball did.
This kid is impressive. Now Mason McCorder will take his first licks at the dish. First baseman out of Georgia Southern, teammate of Joe Nahasa on the mound. Lefty on lefty matchup, the first pitch. Fastball misses outside for ball 1.
We talked about the all-name team. I think we have to put McWhorter on that as well.
Oh, it's up there. There's some good ones in 2019. 1-0 pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner, and it's 1-1.
You know, I'm surprised that we have to talk to Sam Niederman, the broadcaster for Katuitt. I mean, they should have a burger or something named after him, the McWhorter.
They should. They'll have to develop that here at the Snack Shack. 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd in a scoreless ball game. The 1-1. Our breaker fouled back, and it's 1-2. Mentioned the all-name team. A couple other great names around the Cape. Dallas Beaver out of Central Florida. Fox Simonis. Zebulon Vermillion, and Orleans Firebird. Lefty on lefty matchup. Seminaris out of the windup. Here's the 1-2. Fastball just missed up and away, and the count's even at 2-2. McWhorter, an all Sun Belt first team selection this past year at Georgia Southern. Batted .321 with 12 home runs. Seminaris looking for his 4th K. 2-2. Fastball fouled back and out of play, and we'll do it again.
I know you mentioned about this being your favorite ballpark on the West. I think it's mine as well. It's also another favorite of Peter Gammons, guy that absolutely loves the Cape, loves to go to games here at Katuitt at Lowell Park, and then also in Bourne.
2-2 once again. Breaker hit hard to the first base side. Raymond Gill is right there. He runs it to the bag himself. They get 8 consecutive retired by Adam Seminaris to start this ball game. And it's incredible. You just think that at some point hitters on the Cape would figure out a not too hard throwing left-hander, and they can't. He paints both sides of the plate effectively, throws a ton of strikes, and does not seem like anyone in the Cape has figured him out just yet.
Well, prime example is another Firebird reference going back to 2015 and 16. Kit Sheets, a guy undrafted free agent now with the Astros.
First pitch to Cam Hill, squared the other way. The shortstop McCabe charging in on slow roller. Throw to first base, not in time. So it took for a slow roll infield single for the Cavaliers to get their first hit, but Hill reaches with 2 down here in the 3rd.
Just to finish the story, Kit Sheets, a left-hander, was the closer for Kellen Nicholson out of Virginia Tech for back-to-back seasons. Was undrafted, surprisingly. He put up some really good numbers here on the Cape. But from that class in 2016, he's knocking on the majors. He's might be the second guy up. The first one, Adam Hazlett, the first-round draft pick by the Phillies, who took over for Andrew McCutcheon after he went down with the torn ACL. So he never Sheets a guy that maybe threw similar to what Seminaris is throwing.
Kit Sheets plays a part in Orleans tradition as well. First pitch to Robinson, runner going, throw down from Avidia, not in time. Looks like Avidia had trouble getting that ball out, and his throw down to try and get Cam Hill. Did not get to the second base bag quick enough. So Hill swipes second after an infield single. It's his 7th stolen bag of the summer. And the Cavaliers threatening here in the 3rd of a scoreless ball game. Now, Scotty Gage gave us some trivia the last time at Eldridge Park, and here's some trivia for Birds fans out there. The way that Kit Sheets plays his part into Orleans tradition is the mound art at Eldridge Park. Lefty on lefty matchup here. 1-0 pitch, tapped back foul, and it's 1-1. That's usually how it goes. You get a returning bird to carry it over the next year, and that's what Kit Sheets did in the summer of 2015.
Yep.
Got to find exactly who started the tradition. Joe Catapano, the Orleans beat writer last summer, wrote a great feature on that. He spoke to Kit Sheets, too. Went through the entire line. It's been going on for about 6 years. 1-1. Breaker misses low and outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Went from Kit Sheets, missing someone in between, but Graham Stinson and now Andrew Abbott has been the one to bring it over. I want to say Brooks Wilson was in there as well. Stetson, two-way player. 2-1 pitch. Breaker, that Robinson, a big swing on it. It's 2-2, and that curveball from Seminaris, lethal.
We'll have to start asking around who's going to carry it over next.
We saw Mike Vassell and, of course, Adam Seminaris pick up the slack on Sunday with Andrew Abbott out of town. Abbott's now gone on to try out for Team USA in Cary, North Carolina. And you got to think there's going to be someone on that pitching staff to keep it going. Then the question becomes, who's the returner? We won't know for another year. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the third. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball crushed foul down the right side. And we'll do it again. No runs on 1 hit for Orleans. No errors for the Birds just yet. No runs on 1 hit and 1 error for the Kettleers.
I mean, that's what makes Cape Cod so much fun. It's the traditions out here, such as the Cape League.
It's not much better than Cape Cod baseball, especially when you get to 4th of July. We're almost there, Thomas. Quarter way through the season already.
Sad to hear that and say that as well.
It's crazy how quick it's gone, and the Firebirds have played some good baseball. 6-4-1 through their first quarter. Seminaris is 2-2. Breaker hot shot past Michael Roberts up the third base side and foul. We'll do it again. Didn't even look like Roberts flinched.
I was about to say, he was standing like a statue down there at the third base coach's box. Nothing phasing him down there.
That's impressive.
I'm going to give a little movement backwards, but Mike Roberts just hand on the hips casually, leaning back a little.
Life could be a lot worse than coaching baseball here on Cape Cod. Lefty on lefty matchup. Seminaris a deep breath. Here's the pitch. Breaker that's popped into shallow right field on the side, and the first baseman Gill comes on to make the grab, and the side is retired. So Adam Seminaris continues to deal, gives up his first base hit, but the Kettleers score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. We're through 3 complete innings here at Lowell Park. 0-0 between Orleans and Katuitt. Scotty Gage is with Kelly Nicholson. Scotty, let's send it to you.
Thank you, guys. Coach, 3 innings in, another phenomenal innings for Adam Seminaris. How long are we expected to see him today?
We'll probably give him 5 innings or 75 pitches, whichever comes first today, Scotty.
Offensively, you guys have caused some danger but haven't gotten quite the results. What are you really pushing on them in terms of approach at the plate today?
We're just trying to put the ball in play. This guy's throwing the heck out of the ball. His velo's, he's been up to 94, 95. It decreases when he's in the stretch, so we got to work counts a little bit and hopefully maybe draw a base on. His command is not great. We're swinging at some balls out of the zone, so we'll see what happens here in the next inning or 2.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Yeah,
Good luck.
You bet, Scotty.
And thank you, Scotty Gage, as that was our sign reporter, Scotty, alongside our skipper, Kelly Nicholson. And Kelly made a great point there about the velocity from the stretch compared to when he's in the windup. I noticed that as well. It's probably not as much of a pattern as Kelly noticed. Obviously, he's the manager of the game. So the fastball from Nahas dips down to probably the lower 90s when he's from the stretch. When he's from the windup, he can really crank it up. As it'll be Max Troiani, Eddie McCabe, and Ray Gill, the 3 Firebirds, set to do battle here in the top of the 4th inning. And Firebirds and Kettleers knotted up at 0. As each team just 1 hit apiece so far. It's been another pitcher's duel. It seems like every single game between the Firebirds and whoever they're playing. Very low-scoring affair. So Troiani will step into the right side. Face the right-hander Nahas. First pitch curveball comes up and in as Troiani ducks out of the way. Nahas has been dealing so far. 31 strikes, 50 balls. As the 1-0 pitch to Troiani. Once again, fastball runs up and inside for ball 2. That one at 94. Nahas with the 7 punch-outs. 7 of the 9 outs he has recorded via the strikeout. It's a 2-0 fastball. Just misses low in the zone. Count runs 3-0. We've seen it so far a couple times where Nahas has just lost his command. 4-pitch walk was issued to Soretti back in the 2nd as the 3-0 pitch at the knees for strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike to count here at the top of the 4th. Nobody on, nobody out. Firebirds looking to draw first blood here. Nahas from the windup. The 3-1. Troiani scoops down to get that one. Skies out towards the right side. The right fielder Robinson coming in a couple steps to his left. Camps under it and makes the catch.
Kelly Nicholson got his wish when he told Scotty Gaines. They worked a deeper count, but Trani just not getting the result. And been very impressed from Nahas so far. He's gotten ahead really shy of just that batter right there to Troyani.
So with one down, it's Eddie McCabe, the shortstop. First pitch, the right-hander sees check swing. And he goes around, says the first base umpire, Rick Emerson. And I think if you're Kelly Nicholson and these Firebirds hitters, you want to, as the 0-1 fastball on the outside corner for a strike, 2-0 and 2. I think that you definitely want to just try to get a base runner as early as you can in an inning. Obviously, it's what you want to do in baseball most of the time, but especially with the Haas, because when you guys get runners on, he seems to be flustered sometimes down the mound as the 0-2 curveball runs off the plate. 1-2 the count. Again, one down here, the top of the fourth inning. Still a scoreless ball game. As the 1-2 to McCabe. Fastball just misses up. Catcher Kessler trying to haul it in and move it over a little as well.
Yeah, and Eddie's starting to put together better at-bats so far this summer. Got off to a little bit of a slow start, then had to work around a little bit of an injury, and knock that kept him out of the lineup, but starting to get healthy and put together good ABs.
2-2 pitch. Misses down in the zone. Count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Firebirds searching for a base runner here. As you're exactly right, McCabe has started to look better and better game by game as a 3-2 pitch is slapped the other way. Foul. And they'll do it again at 3-2. Going back to game 1 of that doubleheader on Sunday. Of course, that was the last time that the Firebirds played. McCabe went 1 for 3. 3-2 pitch. Check swing. He goes around, says the first base umpire, Rick Emerson, and McCabe goes down on strikes.
Yeah, that fastball came up and in, and McCabe was just trying to get out of the way of the hitter and walk down to first base, and just the arms kind of flung forward as a knee-jerk reaction. And that's tough when a heater like that comes up and in, and just Nahas has really been dealing on the mound.
McCabe just trying to get out of the way, but the bat comes across the plane, and he's the 8th punch-out victim for Nahas so far. So quickly 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Still a scoreless ball game. Firebirds searching for their first base runner in this inning. First pitch to Ray Gill. Cut on a miss for strike 1. Gill sporting the no batting gloves as AB. 0-1 pitch from Nahas. Fastball cut on a miss once again upstairs. Count is 0-2.
Yeah, and we were told Nahas was going to go 3, maybe 4 innings, but if I'm Mike Roberts, I don't take him out of this ball game. He looks fantastic on the mound, and Firebirds have not figured him out, shy of just an infield single.
0-2 pitch to Gill. Fastball runs up and off the plate. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, if I were Mike Roberts, I would definitely put him out for at least 1 more inning, or at least try to get him through another inning. Especially now that this is the 2nd time around and guys are still not figuring it out for the Firebirds. Nothing against them. Nahas has just been exceptional on the mound. As the 1-2 pitch to Gale, curveball skies up in the air but fouled on the right field line.
And then you know what I do, Thomas? I let him pitch the 5th, try and retire them in order so you don't go the 3rd time around. And if he faces Daniels, he's at Daniels' number so far. Then after that, I go to the guy who throws the slowest in my bullpen.
Exactly.
I find a guy who throws about 87, 88 miles an hour and just locates.
Like an Adam Seminaris, if you haven't down the
Play
bullpen.
some mind games.
1-2 pitch to Gill. Well, it's popped up and out of play once again. The catcher, Kessler, sporting some support to his right-hander on the mound. Giving a head nod and pointing right back at him. So count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ray Gill. 2 outs, nobody on here at the top of the 4th. Ray Gill calls time. We'll take foot out of the right-hander's batter's box. 1 foot in.
We got to look at the tape. Did he hit the home run on Sunday with one batting glove or none?
That's what you have to do. 2-2 pitch. Excuse me, 1-2 pitch. Runs off the plate. Count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Let's figure it out. Because sometimes it's one on the left hand, sometimes it's none, and sometimes it's one on the right.
I mean, it's just like maybe if he can't find down there in the dugout, he'll just go with one. It's a 2-2 curveball cut on and missed, and Gill goes down swinging. So back-to-back punch-outs is how we end the top of the 4th inning. Make it 9 on the evening for Nahas. And after 3.5, it still scores ball game from Cotuit. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. The Firebirds infield will come in on the grass. First pitch to Darren Baker, right back to the third baseman. Tags the runner at third, throws across the diamond, and they got him! Tanner Murray heads up play. There's a 1-0 pitch. Wilcom sends one high in the air towards left field, towards the scoreboard. It's gone! And the Firebirds are back on the board here in Game 2. We can call this Firebirds team a solo home run machine because that's all they do, too. As Wickham puts the Firebirds on the board here early, 1-0 lead. Bottom half of the 4th inning. Back inside Lowell Park as the Firebirds and the Kettleers are still tied up. And nothing. As they'll be the 2-3-4 hitters for Cotuit, who'll face Adam Seminaris for the 2nd time today. Nick Gonzalez, the 2nd baseman. Out of New Mexico State. We'll dig in from the right side. Seminaris, the left-hander. We'll just have to do battle against Scotty Gange. Our star reporter spoke with Kelly Nicholson after the 3rd inning. Said 5 innings or 75 pitches. That's where Seminaris will go as Gonzalez laces one out. The left center field gap is going to one hop and run to the fence out there in left center. Girardi runs the wall, fields it, throws it back in quickly towards the cutoff, but well past as Gonzalez starts out the 4th inning with a leadoff double.
Yeah, and that's exactly the approach I would take if I'm any hitter against Adam Seminaris. You know he's going to throw strikes. Swing the bat. Why dig yourself in an 0-1 hole, 0-2 hole? Swing early and often. He's going to throw strikes, and until he kind of mixes it up, just try and take advantage.
So Gonzalez starts out the 4th with a leadoff double. That's only the Kettleers' 2nd hit in this game, 3rd between both sides. As Cotuit looks to drive him in here as Casey Schmidt, the 3rd baseman. Seminaris at 44 pitches as of right now. Seminaris works from the windup, kicks and fires. Fastball misses outside for ball 1.
Thomas, I'm going to get a lot of flack for what I'm about to say. You know what I'd do right here? I'd lay down a bunt. In a pitcher's duel where runs have been a premium, even though it's your 3-hole hitter, he's batting $161 against a pitcher who's been lights out all summer. Let someone drive him in from 90 feet away.
3rd baseman playing back as the 1-0 is at the knees for strike 1. Countyman's back up at 1 ball and 1 strike, and I could see that happening. Tanner Murray, however, is playing behind the bag at 3rd. But I think other people would say, well, it's your 3-hole hitter. Let him hit away. All he's got to do is hit one on the right side of the infield to move him over. As Seminaris 1-1, he shows bunt there and fouls it off. Try to bow one behind the back of Murray and skip it past Mike Roberts.
So here's where I feel bad for the kid now. Now he's going to swing away with 2 strikes, but when you only give him 1 chance to bunt, there's not much leeway there. It's you get it down or you don't. If he does it from the first set, and I am the most, not anti-bunt, but I'm usually, no, don't waste an out. I would have laid one down there, nothing on the count. A struggling hitter against a very good pitcher in what's been a big-time pitcher's duel.
So Schmidt's down on the count 1-2. Seminaris comes set, kicks and fires. The 1-2 pitch is reached for. And fly down the right side, but foul and out of play.
Now, the whole part of this argument to either make me look really intelligent or really stupid will rest a lot on what happens on this next pitch. If Schmidt puts one into play on the right side, moves the runner over, I kind of look silly. If he strikes out, I look like a genius. It's a double-edged sword here.
We'll see which way it'll go. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Gonzalez over at second base. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Katua trying to open things up here. Seminaris, the 1-2 pitch. Reach for it. Blind to the right side of the infield and into the outfield for a base hit to Kokoska. Hold up there as the throw was quickly thrown into Gill, the cutoff man over at first base, but Katua has something brewing here.
Reason why I'm behind the fence and Mike Roberts is down coaching at third base, because he makes the right call. After maybe a little indecision, after going swing away, then the bunt, it's the swing away that pays off for Katua. Schmidt picks up the hit, and looks like Adam Simonaris is starting to be figured out just a touch the second time around this order.
So now it's Parker Shavers, the left fielder from Coastal Carolina, with runners on the corners and still nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Katua now at 2 hits in this inning. Came into this half inning with just 1. Samaris looks over at first base on Schmidt. Kicks and fires towards some. The left-hander Shavers. Fastball runs inside.
Yeah, and if I'm Orleans, you obviously concede the run to try and get 2 outs, and it looks like Kelly Nicholson has the middle back for 2. Third baseman Murray's about a step behind the infield grass, and Gill's holding the runner on at first.
Seminaris waiting once more. Will throw over towards first to check on Schmidt. Back in standing easily. So it looks like Kelly has the corners in, middle back. As Josh, you just said, it's going to take 2 outs for a run. Seminaris once more fires the 1-0. Fastball runs off, up and off the plate. Count heads to 2-0. Shavers so far in his Young Cape League season has a home run and 3 RBIs under his belt. Drove in 54 runs for Coastal Carolina this year at the 2-0 fastball outside edge for strike 1.
Yeah, and it seems like Seminaris' biggest problem here in the 4th is he's getting behind hitters. And that's really makes it tougher to pitch. I know our good friend Sam Martika is working on some analytics for the Birds. And just seeing the difference between an 0-1 count and a 1-0 count, it's huge.
Shavers calls time as Seminaris, you mentioned about a pitcher on the mound trying to mix up the amount of time he fires a pitch towards home. That's exactly what Seminaris was doing there. Trying to mix up the rhythm, not only for the hitter, but the runner as well. 2-1 to pitch, a high chopper towards the shortstop in McCabe. Flips on a second, across the bag over to first. They'll only get 1 as a run comes in to score as Gonzalez comes in for the first run, and the Kettleers are on the board, 1-0.
Yeah, tough ball to turn 2 on, just a slow roller to the left side, and McCabe really did all that he could, came charging in, got caught on the in-between hop, just tossed it to second, but it's the first run the Firebirds have now given up in what's been 24 and a third, I believe. That doesn't add up, 22 and a third.
That's why you're not an accountant and a broadcaster. So Adam Oviedo, the shortstop. And we'll dig in from the right side with Shavers leading off first base with 1 out. Seminaris throws over to check on Shavers. He's back in standing. Well, let's see how much longer Seminaris goes in this game, unless he can get a double play ball here. Seminaris fires towards zone fastball. Kicking out of the way is Oviedo. Pitch misses inside for ball 1. Seminaris takes a deep breath. Works from the stretch, the 1-0. Pitch is cut on and miss as Oviedo goes down to 1 knee in the right side. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Oviedo went 0 for 4 in his last game against Chatham. Broke his 5-game hitting streak that he had here on Cape Cod. It's in 5 of the last 6 games for the Kettleers. A Seminary snap throw over to first base as Ray Gill dancing over the runner. Shavers to knock the ball down. Count was 1 ball and 1 strike on Oviedo. 1-0 Kettleers lead after Shavers knocked in the run with a fielder's choice. Seminaris fires the 1-1 pitch. Fastball runs low and in on Oviedo. He's ahead of the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Seminaris so far, 37 strikes, 19 balls. At 56 pitches currently. 2-1 from Seminaris. Scott up in the air, but up and out of play. Calvin's back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, for Seminaris, he should be still on that pace of 5 innings, 75 pitches. Might get a little closer to what comes first, unless he gets a double play ball right here.
Double play ball would end the inning here. Good. Shavers off at first. The 2-2 pitch hit on the ground. A little squibber coming in as a shortstop. McCabe fields it, throws across his body over to first base, and Gill makes a catch over there, and Oviedo is retired. So another tough play that Orleans couldn't quite turn a double play ball on. Only play for McCabe was over at first base.
Some thick grass here at Lowell Park. A lot of slow rollers and some soft contact so far. Really shy of the double for Nick Gonzalez. And credit Eddie McCabe, that wasn't necessarily the most routine play. Just charged in, made a good throw. And now Matt Troop, the pitching coach, going to come out and have a word with Adam Seminaris.
It's like the U.S. Open second cut out there over towards shortstop.
You and your golf references.
Well, anytime there's grass, I mean, U.S. Open rough is up to your knees usually, so.
It's no Masters rough at Augusta.
No.
Even that grass looks pretty. Talk about pretty grass.
They get it ready in March. I mean, I don't know how they do it, but they do a nice job here at the grass at Lowell Park as well. So 2 outs here on the bottom of the 4th, and Katsuit holding a 1-run lead. Run was scored on a fielder's choice in this inning. So Chaver is still over at second base. It's a DH, Raj Anu. Grounded out back in the 2nd inning. Maybe also in the all-name team. Put him on there.
Oh, he's the DH, without a doubt. He's already listed. If you think I'm joking, I'm keeping a running tally.
I saw, on the notes page.
Raj Anu, he's in the DH spot.
He is in there. First pitch from Seminaris, a wave and a miss for strike 1. Anu, who will be transferring to Kentucky. Played at Wallace Community College down south in Alabama. Seminaris, the left-hander working against the right-hander Anu. 0-1 pitch. Off-speed misses low and inside for ball 1. Canavan's back up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
It's the first run Orleans has given up in 6 days. Now, granted, they haven't played a couple of those. They had an off day Monday, canceled yesterday. A couple postponements Friday and Saturday.
1-1 fastballs sported at the knees for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That pitch at 91 for Seminaris. Probably the fastest pitch he has thrown so far in this game. So Chivers over at second base. The 1-2 pitch. Anu just gets a piece of it, fouls it back to the screen. And we'll do it again at 1-2. Again, for the Firebirds, just trying to get out of this inning. Gonzalez scored on a fielder's choice after he led this inning off with a double. So Manera steps off the back rubber for a second, now reconnects with his back left foot. Comes in at the belt. Takes a deep breath. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball skips in, and a good block by the catcher, David Avitia, to keep the ball in play. He pushes it in front of him up the third base line, and that's the place you want to put it if you're going to block it, especially when we're on second base. If he does decide to go because he thinks he has a jump over there, well, it's an easy throw then because your body momentum's already going towards third base.
Once again, David Avidia makes the block. Might not be the most routine. Sometimes it might be, but Avidia seems to be there every single time.
2-2 from Seminaris. Another high chop over towards the shortstop, McCabe. Throws across the diamond to Gill in time. Inanu is retired for out number 3. Cavaliers score 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on a base after 4. We're going to take a quick break from Lowell Park. And at the top of the 5th, we'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Welcome back into Lowell Park for the top of the 5th inning as the Cavaliers scratch across 1 in the 4th. And a fielder's choice to now lead this game 1-0. It's been another pitcher's duel here. Combined just 4 hits, 1 for the Firebirds, 3 for the Cavaliers, 2 of them coming in that last half inning. So Soretti, Avitia, and Whitcomb, 7, 8, 9 hitters due up to face a new pitcher on the mound in Beck Way as he replaces Joseph Nahas. His final line, 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no earned, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts. So I'm sure Firebirds hitters are happy to see Nahas out of the game.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he didn't get this inning as well. Just trying to complete the second time around the order. Maybe not go the third, but try and get through the first 18 batters.
First pitch of the right-hander to the left-hander, Soretti. Fastball outside edge for strike 1. Wade making his 5th appearance here on Cape Cod. He is 2-1 with a .168 ERA, 5 1/3 innings. 1 pitch. Off-speed runs inside at the ankles of Soretti as he bounces back out of the way. Last appearance back on June 23rd against Brewster. Picked up the win in an inning and 2/3. 1-1 pitch misses inside as Soretti raises the bat. Moves ahead in the count, 2-1. Beck from the stretch, 2-1 fastball. Runs upstairs. 3-1.
So Way is throwing around the same velocity as Nahas, and here comes Mike Roberts, 4 pitches into Way's outing because why not? But statistically speaking, in terms of velocity, and Roberts just wants this meeting just with Way, calls off the rest of the infield try of the catcher. Statistically, he's pumping the same velocity, 91, 94, through his first 4 pitches. But it seems that, shy of obviously not being able to locate, falling behind 3-1, he's not hiding the ball as well as Nahas did. And that's what made it seem so hard for Orleans to hit Nahas, is he hit the ball so well, and then it just kind of shot from a cannon straight towards the dish, whereas Way gets it out there, shows you the ball, and then throws it.
Long conversation on the mound as the home plate umpire, Tom Reiber, will come out and try to hurry up the meeting out there. Mike Roberts still carrying on.
I would love to have a conversation with Mike Roberts. Boy, would that be a fun time. I've got a lot of questions.
It was funny last year, a lot of experience in the Katuitt dugout last year. Jerry Weinstein, the pitching coach, now with the manager for the Gatemen. So it would have been cool to work in Katuitt last year as the 3-1 pitch to Soretti is bounced back to Way, runs over to first base, another hand toss in time. Soretti's retired.
Yeah, and it's something we got to figure out because Weinstein's now in his 2nd season with the Gatemen, but spent the last one with Katuitt, like you're talking about, as the pitching coach. So what was the point of the move ever to come to Katuitt, and why go back?
Because he could have gone, and he's a guy that's been around everywhere, coached Team Israel. Coached in the Rockies minor leagues. First pitch to Avitia, runs upstairs, ball 1.
I understand the shift from Katuitt to Wareham. Who doesn't want to be the manager?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
1-0 fastball, clips outside Black for strike 1. That one at 97.
But unless Wareham forced them out after year 1, which I'm pretty sure they didn't.
No.
And then they welcomed him back 2 years later, so no way. Why leave?
1-1 pitch. Curveball just doesn't bite down enough. Misses up high. Count moves to 2 ball and 1 strike. On the catcher, Avitia. Struck out back in the 2nd as a 2-1 fastball. That's a wave and a miss for strike 2. That one at 96, so both pitchers here for Katuitt really throwing gas. I don't know if it's a thing for Mike Roberts, but Joe Boyle, who now pitches for Harwich, the 2-2 fastball misses up. Count runs full. Joe Boyle, guy for Notre Dame that can hit triple digits. He's now with Harwich as their closer. So I remember last year when Boyle pitched for Katuitt, that thing flashing 3 numbers. 3-2 pitch. Outside corner, strike 3 call. Vite goes down looking.
Yeah, and what are you supposed to do with that pitch? 93, catches the outside corner at the knees. That's practically untouchable. Just Way really painting the corners so far since that meeting with Roberts.
Just got to tip your cap and move along as there's now 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Katuitt leads this ball game by a score of 1-0. Can they score that run back in the 4th off a fielder's choice? First pitch, the 9-hitter Shea Whitcomb, curveball at the knees for a strike 1. And when you're throwing a curveball for a strike on your first pitch, something's got to be working. Again, whatever Mike Roberts said to back on the mound, I would like maybe an earful of that. 0-1 pitch. Whitcomb will lay off. Pitch misses high.
It'd be awesome. Imagine getting a manager, and we might be able to run this by Kelly Nicholson, miking him up for an entire game.
That'd be pretty neat.
I'd love to hear what Skip has to say.
1-1 pitch to Whitcomb. Fastball runs off the plate.
Get a lot of positive words, a lot of positive reinforcement from Skip.
Fox Sports did that in college basketball for Providence one game, and
I knew it was going to happen.
It was fun. A 2-1 pitch runs off the plate once again. The count moves to 3-1.
You said Fox Sports, and I knew where this was going. PC basketball, Ed Cooley.
One of the Providence players got bit, or there's blood somewhere on someone's uniform for the
bit?
Friars. And I don't know if he's bit, but
wow.
Ed Cooley made the comment. They said, there are vampires out here. Threw in fastball. Clips off the mid of Kessler for ball 4. Whitcomb will toss the bat and head towards first base. Ed Cooley making a joke out of it. And
is Mike Tyson playing basketball now?
I don't know if he got bit, but I think he's had blood. And Ed Cooley just made the comment and said he went to Dave Lito, the head coach at DePaul. So were there vampires down here or something? So, I mean, I don't even. Stuff like that just shows up, but we don't hear that at a basketball game when you're sitting there watching it. So, be interesting what Kelly says during a baseball game. So the Firebirds have a base runner with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. They trail 1-0. Zach Daniels now. As they'll call a balk as Whitcomb will head over to second base. I thought Whitcomb was stealing it, but I was like, well, why isn't White throwing the ball? And I see the umpire pointing at second base, so that's the only thing I can think of.
It looked like Way stepped on the rubber and almost was trying to get his left leg adjusted and just moved it towards home without coming set.
So now the Firebirds have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Leadoff man Zach Daniels on the right side. 0-for-2 so far, trying to change his fortunes. First pitch curveball, he comes ducking down. Pitch running well inside, count 1-0.
And here at Lowell Park, it's almost like a jet stream. You get it above the tree line and the ball carries. I would love to see Zach Daniels, full-on batting practice mode, smoke one above the tree line.
Could happen right here. 1-0 pitch to Daniels. Chops it another way on the right side of the infield. One hop over to Gonzalez. He sets his feet, throwing to first base, and Daniels is retired. So the 2-out walk does not hurt the Kettleers in the long run, as the Firebirds, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. After 4.5, it's a 1-0 Kettleers lead. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. There's a 1-0 pitch. Wilcom sends one high in the air towards left field, towards the scoreboard. It's gone. And the Firebirds are back on the board here in Game 2. We can call this Firebirds team a solo home run machine because that's all they do, too. As Whitcomb put home half of the 5th inning back in Lowell Park as Adam Seminaris will retake the hill for the Firebirds. We'll have Kessler, McWhorter, and Hill. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Kettleers as they try to search for some more offense here. Kessler, the catcher, will start things off the left side. Sophomore from Kentucky, sporting the Kentucky blue leg guard at the ankle on the right side, on his right leg. First pitch from Seminaris from the windup, off-speed pitch, fouled out of play. Again, just 4 hits combined between both sides here, now working to the 5th. Oh, 1 pitch from Seminaris. That one's fouled at the plate as Kessler goes tumbling down in the batter's box. That one looked like it hurt. I don't know if it went off the toe or the inside heel or something, as now the turners will come out for the Kettleers.
And that's just one of those stingers, like you mentioned, just kind of corkscrewed to what looked like the front part of that shoe, and just appears to be down on his knees, just getting some quick medical attention. Probably just got to get moving a little bit to shake that one off.
Yeah, anything off the foot area is not guarded really at all. That's why you see a lot of the players with the ankle guard on the bone, but anything around the toes or anything, that hurts. So Kessler now working his way up to his feet. And he's still hobbling. As Mike Roberts coming over to help him off the field as well.
That's what you love to see. Cam Hill was waiting in the hole. One of his teammates comes out, assists him off the field. Some early signs of good teammate and some friendship here on the Cape.
Kessler not happy about it. He tosses the batting helmet. You know, wanted to carry on in this game. Obviously, no one wants to get injured here up on the Cape, trying to showcase their talents.
Now, you'd have to think Cody Pasick, who's the backup catcher out of Maine, would come in, pinch hit, and stay in the game behind the dish.
And it is Cody Pasick who will come in for Kessler here to count 0-2. Cody Pasick, cool story about him. He's a local kid. Used to come to Kettleers games growing up. Him and his teammate Chris Holcomb, actually, both guys played on the same Little League team here. As Pasick, a native of Cotuit, Massachusetts. So, can you mention out of Maine? I can tell you this, as I've never been to Orono, Maine, but our hockey team travels up there every year, every other year. Not a fun trek to be up in Orono, Maine. A lot of snow up there in the wintertime. So
Maine comes down to Coral Gables pretty much what feels annually. They didn't this year, but to play an early baseball series against the Miami Hurricanes.
Just ask somebody next time, how's Orono, Maine in the middle of February? 0-2 pitch to Pasick. Curveball bounces in from Seminaris. Count 1-2.
I go to school with someone from Caribou, Maine, just not far from Canada. And they go, yeah, we've got 2 stoplights in our entire town.
1-2 pitch from Seminaris. That's a chopper just over the head of Seminaris. Coming across the bag is Eddie McCabe, and he corrals it but can't quite get the ball out of the mitt.
And that'll be an infield single for Cody Pasick, and that's a really cool story. From Cotuit, has a large crowd on hand, and even just talking about the crowd in general, we got a good crowd for a June Cape Cod Baseball League game.
I'm sure there's a lot of friends and family out here cheering Cody on. There's a lot more guys now from the Cape area, just even the Northeast as well, starting to come make their name out here in the Cape. Luke Chevalier, also native of Cotuit, played for the Kittlers last year, as McWhorter will show bunt here. Takes the first pitch as he pulls the bat back. Misses for ball 1. So Pasick leading off of first base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Kittlers lead 1-0. Seminaris takes a deep breath. Once again showing bunt to third baseman Murray coming on as 1-0 fastball misses above the letters for ball 2. Count 2 balls and no strikes. I'll make Water. Takes a sign from Mike Roberts. Digs back into the left side. To face the left-hander Seminaris once again, revealing the bunt. Seminaris kicks and fires. The 2-0 pitch is bunted up in the air, but fouls. He'll one-hop the wall just in front of the Cotuit bench on the third base side. So count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Roberts gives the sign. McWhorter acknowledges. Seminaris, long glance over to first base, fires towards some. 2-1 curveball outside corner for strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count on McWhorter. So now at 2 strikes. I'll have to see him. Probably will hit away, but Murray's still in on the grass over at third base. 2-2 pitch. Fastball just missing low and outside, as you could probably hear Kellen Nicholson saying, yeah, from the first base side.
Gotta love it.
You love that pitch, but just missing a little bit low and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Seminaris kicks and fires. 3-2 pitch is lofted up in the air. Out towards left field. Trani moving back to his right. He'll make the catch for the first out. So there's now 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Kettleers still lead 1-0. Pasick over at first base after he started off the inning with the single. And I think it's even more credible as well. He's down, obviously, when Kessler found the pitch off his foot. It was no balls and 2 strikes, and Pasek still able to work a single. So now it's 9-0 hitter Cam Hill, the center fielder. From the left side to face the left-hander Seminaris. First pitch rolled over towards the first base side. Ray Gill backhands, throw over to second base, and they'll get the force out. So Hill reaches on a fielder's choice as the Firebirds will get the lead runner. So now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Again, Cavaliers still lead 1-0. It's Christian Robinson. Seminaris taking a long pause on the mound. First pitch to Robinson. Pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. Robinson playing right field tonight, 0 for 2. He grounded out in the first, popped out in the third. Seminaris fires towards home as the 1-0 pitch is rolled over foul. Past the first base coach's box down there. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Seminaris steps off the rubber. Wipes his net his hat. As he'll have to get a new baseball bat after he cracked that one. Excuse me, Robinson had to retrieve a bat. So he's back into the left side. Got 1 ball and 1 strike. Here were 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Seminaris from the belt. He deals. 1-1 pitch is a major league pop-up on the right side of the infield. McCabe comes across the back towards the second base and will make the grab for the 3rd out. So nothing comes to fruition for the Cavaliers after the leadoff single from Pasek. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on a base. We're going to send it down to our side reporter, Scotty Gaines, who's promoting Bird Bites in the Knack after this half.
Yeah, you said it. You know, I spent a fun day today at the Knack, right off Route 6A in Orleans. A phenomenal place. Me and Eddie McCabe, who's out at shortstop and batting 5th today, we shared a phenomenal meal, the 2 of us. We both had a double cheeseburger, some fries, great drinks, and a fantastic outdoor patio setting atmosphere, or patio seating atmosphere. But the coolest part for me was speaking with Eddie, is sharing a meal with him in our long 30-minute or so conversation. He really broke down the ins and outs of his family and the inspiration that he gets from them and how that helps him become a better baseball player, but most importantly, becoming a better person. So it's the first edition of Bird Bites. We're going to have a bit of a sneak peek in Friday's broadcast. Right after the 5th inning, we're going to have 1 minute of some of my favorite parts from that conversation in our lunch today. And then Saturday morning on our YouTube channel and on our website, OrleansFirebirds.com, we're going to have the entire sit-down conversation between me and Eddie on our website and, of course, on the YouTube. And all thanks to the Knack in Cape Cod. It was a fantastic lunch in terms of food and also in conversation. What a day. What a day to be a Firebird, you guys.
And thank you, Scotty. You're making me hungry over here. Of course, that's one of our favorite places to go is the Knack in Orleans. So if anybody comes down to the Cape, the Knack will have to be up on your list. And I'd like to thank the Knack. Of course, Scotty gets to have some nice talks, but also eat some good food. So not too bad here on Cape Cod.
Double avocado burger. That's the move every time.
I think we got to promote that now.
Don't tell me anything else. Double avocado burger at the Knack.
The best thing about the Knack is that everything is homemade. That is it. Close to the town cove as well. If you want to go play some mini golf after, go to the Cape Escape, of course. That's
what happened the last time we played mini golf?
Josh just edging me out.
By 2 shots. It wasn't 1, it was 2.
First pitch of Zach Koska runs off the plate for ball 1 here at the top of the 6th.
Do you play golf?
I would just like to point out that I was down 1 stroke on the 17th hole, and of course, this course was very biased towards lefties, and I would just like
here's
to point
the
that out.
excuse. I'm left-handed too. I just swing a golf club right-handed.
And I'm a righty, and I swing lefty.
I adjusted the course. You want me to putt left-handed next time?
I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'll putt right-handed as that first pitch is marked down as a no pitch. So they'll wipe the count clean as Mike Robertson will come out for an explanation.
I had a lot of pride. Let me tell you. There was a spot, I think it was hole 13. I forget what hole that's called. They're all different towns on the Cape. I don't know the name, man. They all have different town names for the holes. And I had, what, a double bogey? Triple?
Something like that.
It's the only bad hole I had.
First pitch down to Kokoska. This one's on the inside corner for strike one.
I had one double and I think one bogey. Other than that was par or birdie the entire way. Not a single hole in one for what? We played with 6 people?
Very hard.
Yes.
As the 1-1 pitch grounded over towards the shortstop Oviedo comes across his body, thrown to first, and Kokoska is retired.
I would like to let all, however many listeners are out there today, anyone who wants to play mini golf anytime, anywhere, mini golf is a sport for many people.
So many you.
Exactly. That's
so
what
you
I'm
probably
saying.
you eat mini Snickers then and all that.
Oh,
probably.
no, that's too far.
So with one out here at the top of the 6th, Firebirds trail 1-0. It's Tanner Murray, the third baseman, to face Beck Way, now in his second inning of work. First pitch to Murray. Pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. We'll have to travel around the Cape then, too. I know a lot of mini golf courses around the Cape. The thing in Massachusetts, there's a Dunkin' every mile or so. I think on Cape Cod there's a mini golf course almost every other mile or so. There's a 1-0 pitch to Murray. This one spiked in. Count moves to 2-0. That'll leave a mark on your laptop, I think.
Yeah, that kind of went through the fence.
It had deflected off one of the broadcast piece of equipment off your computer.
Wow. Never knew that was possible.
2-0 pitch just misses the outside corner to Murray. Count runs 3-0.
We've had some laptop problems, it seems like it's been going around.
It's been a tough June. Almost lost my laptop in the rain.
Well, we got to start with Scotty Gange, man.
Scotty
Didn't
Gange
have a laptop.
Didn't have a laptop. 3-0 fastball misses outside for ball 4. Murray's aboard now with 1 out for the Firebirds.
I think the recent movements with the laptop queries is Alec Hendon. His won't charge anymore.
It's charging.
It's charging. We're good. Kitsui, Massachusetts, a place of miracles.
So he'll be able to write his post-game story.
You can catch that on OrleansFirebirds.com.
So 1 out here at the top of the 6th inning. Firebirds again, they trail 1-0. Murray works a walk as a throw over from Beck Way almost goes over the head of the first baseman, McWhorter.
What a treat, too, it is to have Alec Hendon at the ballpark. He was sick on Sunday, but has recovered nicely. A day off, then a rain out, and Alec Hendon couldn't look any better.
So Mike Roberts now will convene a conference out there as this time he invites all the infielders in.
I think that might be it for Way.
It was funny, too. I always wanted to say Beck as his last name. That's his first name, so
Way Beck.
Confused me a little bit.
How about this? Way, comma, Beck.
Way, comma, Beck.
There you go.
That could work as Roberts maybe just buying some time out on the mound.
Oh, he is.
Throw a couple extra pitches.
Gamesmanship.
Of course, Katu, another field that does not have lights. That's why it's the 5 o'clock start time.
And there's the new pitcher. He's coming at some point.
As now the third base umpire, Dave Averos, almost walking down to the bullpen to grab him out of there. And that will do it for Beck Way, pitching in a third through 24 pitches, only 9 strikes. As the new pitcher will inherit a runner on first base with 1 out here in the top of the 6th. We'll step aside. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. New pitcher on the mound for the Katuitt Cavaliers. It is going to be Kyle Nicholas. Right-handed pitcher, 6'4", 210 from Ball State University, making his 4th appearance here on Cape Cod. Last pitched back on the 23rd against Brewster. Went 3 innings. Picked up the save. Struck out 4 and walked 2. A .128 ERA across all 3 outings so far. Has 3 saves, so we could see him going along for maybe 3 innings or so here. 7 innings pitched so far, 10 punch-outs. Throw over to first base. Diving head first back in safely is Tanner Murray. So Max Triani, the cleanup man for the Firebirds, will face the right-hander Nicholas. Another jump throw over there. Spin and turn. But Murray is again back in safely. Again, 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Firebirds trail 1-0. First pitch, Triani. Fastball runs off the plate for ball 1.
And this is really, you could see this potentially as the best chance for Orleans in this ball game. Just thinking about who you have at the dish. You got a blessing of a walk on just 4 pitches.
Catcher Pasek sitting on the outside corner, swung on and missed, and that one spiked off the mound and dribbles to second base. Looked like a hit and run there as Girani just trying to put some barrel to the ball, but Murray reaches base.
Yeah, very defensive swing by Trani, like you mentioned. Was probably given the hit and run sign and just knew he had to swing, even if it was a pitch he wasn't looking at.
1 ball, 1 strike is the count on Troiani. Now Murray over at second base. Just 1 out. Firebirds trying to draw even here. 1-1 fastball. Runs up and out of the zone. Count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike on Troiani. Again, if he's a singles machine, so a single here would drive in a run.
13 of his 14 hits have been singles so far this summer.
Trying also 4 runs driven in for the Firebirds. Murray dancing off second. Nicholas kicks and fires as the 2-1 pitch is popped up and out of play behind the press box. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Trani mad at himself after that pitch. Kind of took the bat and just kind of nudged it into his right leg. Thought he missed one. That caught a lot of the plate.
He was on the hitter's count before that pitch. So Nicholas trying to work out of a jam here. It's a 2-2 pitch, cut on and missed. Pasek won't have to throw to first base, and Trani is retired. Curveball in the dirt gets him swinging.
Yeah, sharp breaking ball right there from the big right-hander and just kept Triani off balance that entire AB. Never looked like himself at the dish.
So now 2 outs here at the top of the 6th. Firebirds trail 1-0. It's up to Eddie McCabe, the shortstop, to drive in Murray over at second base. McCabe so far 0-for-2 with a pair of strikeouts. Of course, that was when Nahas was in the game. First pitch curveball just misses the knees for ball 1.
Now the next question becomes, who's the next arm into the ball game for the Orleans Firebirds? Kelly said 5 innings or 75 pitches. It's been 5 innings for Seminaris. Probably it's Cam Fields or Michael Hobbs. The next guy's up in the bullpen rotation, if you will.
1-0 pitch. Fastball misses down in the zone for ball 2. 2-0 the count. That pitch at 94. So every pitcher that Roberts has brought in today flashing up the radar gun. Two 2-0 the count. Nicholas from the belt. 2-0 curveball. Check swing. He goes around as McCabe still ahead in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, 2 outs here at the top of the 6th. Firebirds just 1 hit so far. Got to it with 4 hits and a run. 2-1 curveball. Misses below the knees. Good take there by McCabe. 3-1. Nicholas steps off the hill for a second. Steps back on. Nods, gets his sign. The 3-1 pitch. Curveball misses in the dirt. Ball 4. McCabe flips the bat And he works a 2-out walk. As now there are now runners on first and second. And it's now the big man, Ray Gill, the first baseman. Had the walk-off home run in game 1 of the doubleheader against Wareham. Now comes up in a big spot here for the Firebirds. Could do some damage with just one swing of the bat. First pitch from Nicholas as Gill cut on and miss. Fastball at 96. Gill won all of that one. So Murray standing off a second. McCabe over at first. Again, here at the top of the 6th, Firebirds trail 1-0. 0-1 pitch to McCabe. Fastball just missing the outside edge as Pasek trying to bring that one back with the glove. Count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Here on Gill. Reached on an error back in the second, struck out in the 4th. Nicholas comes set from the belt. The 1-1. Just getting a piece of it was Gill. And fouls it to the on-deck circle. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. These are the type of ABs that can change the outcome of a game. Firebirds 2 men on, 2 out. Nicholas glances over at Murray a couple times. Fires towards home, the 1-2. Fastball, strike 3 call outside corner. And Gill goes down looking to end the top of the 6th inning. So the Firebirds, no run, no hits, no errors, but 2 men left on base. We're through 5.5. As we'll take a look around the Cape. As over in Brewster, it is the Wareham Gatemen who are leading the Brewster Whitecaps over at Stony Brook Field. 3-0 in the top of the 7th. Chapman Bourne in the bottom of the 4th at Doran Park, still scoreless. And over in Falmouth, in the bottom of the 3rd, Hyannis leading the Commodores 3-0. Hyannis trying to pick up their 2nd win of the season. And over in Harwich at White House Field, in the bottom of the 2nd, it is still a scoreless ball game. Of course, Chatham are the leaders in the East right now, and the league leaders as well. They have 7 wins. That's the most on the Cape, but every team in the East has 6 wins except Harwich. Just does not have the tie, so the point-wise, they're 1 point less than Orleans, Brewster, and YD. Of course, Brewster has played 1 more game than both Orleans and YD. And Harwich has played 12, so they played 1 more game as well. As a new pitcher on the mound for the Firebirds is going to be Cam Fields. So, Josh, you called it. Cam Fields, first man out of the pen for Kelly Nicholson.
I'm a magician, Harry. You're a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry. All the movie references out today. As Fields will be making his 4th appearance on Cape Cod. Pitched 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 2 walks, and 5 punch-outs so far for Fields. So Seminaris' evening is done. He goes 5 strong innings, gives up just the 1 run. As it'll be Nick Gonzalez, the 2nd baseman, who will start things off for the Kettleers. Seminaris' final line, 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, no walks, and 3 punch-outs. Fields from the windup, facing the right-hander. First pitch, fastball runs off the plate for ball 1. Gonzalez really aided in the run for the Kettleers. He started off the 4th inning with a leadoff double and came around to score. 1-0 pitch to Gonzalez. He lines it over ahead of the 3rd baseman Murray into left field for a base hit. He's aboard for the 2nd time this evening. Man, so he's trying to put things together here on Cape Cod.
Was talking on the pregame show with Scotty Gage, and he asked me to break down this Katuitt team. It was a cop-out answer, but the response I gave was saying, I'm excited to see Nick Gonzalez, and he has 2 hits. He leads the league in walks. He batted above 400 at New Mexico State. He is a heck of a player, and you just think about it, how good Nick Gonzalez has been.
First pitch at the belt to Casey Schmidt, the third baseman, as Gonzalez leaning over at first base. Couture tries to tack on a couple more insurance runs. Fields working from the stretch. Set from the belt. 0-1 pitch. Missed up in the zone as Schmidt showed bunt there. Count 1 ball and 1 strike.
And here's kind of the same situation. This time there's a runner on first base with nobody out, and Roberts now electing to show bunt earlier in the count rather than later.
Trying to play a little small ball here. 1-1 pitch to Schmidt. Pitch misses below the knees. Count 2 balls and 1 strike.
So this is the part that rubs me the wrong way. If you're going to manage the game one way, do it consistently that way. If it's the same hitter, same situation, no outs, a runner on, you would think the first instance would be an even bigger situation to bunt with a runner on second and nobody out rather than a runner on first and no out.
You can ask him the question after the game.
Oh, I'm going to.
2-1 pitch, misses low and outside. Count heads to 3-1.
Enjoy a chat with Mike Roberts and Josh White coming to theaters near you.
Of course, we saw Toy Story 4 last night.
Great movie. Highly recommend it.
3 balls and 1 strike to count here. Bottom of the 6th inning, Firebirds trail 1-0.
Were you tearing up at the end of it?
I think I cheered it more. I think the third one as the 3-1 pitch misses upstairs. Once again, Schmidt showed bunt, but that is ball 4. I think when Andy went off to college, I think that was...
spoilers. Spoilers.
I mean, if you haven't seen Toy Story, I mean,
if you haven't seen the third one, you've missed out.
They came out like, what, 7, 8 years ago?
We're talking now 7 years ago.
Yeah.
7 years ago. You ready for this story? When the first Toy Story came out, my brother was around Andy's age, my oldest brother.
Wow.
When he went to college, when Andy went to college, my brother, it was the summer before he moved into college.
Huh.
You bet my mom was crying hysterically after seeing that movie.
I'm sure.
The timeline was perfect.
First pitch to Parker. Shavers clips the inside corner for a strike 1. So after the leadoff single by Gonzalez, Schmidt works a walk, and now the Kettleers have 2 men on, nobody out. The bottom of the 6th inning, they lead 1-0. Cam Fields trying to work out of a jam here in the early goings of his outing. Showing bunt once again is Shavers as 0-1 pitch runs low and outside.
And here's a situation that you have the bottom half of your lineup you might bunt with. 2 on, nobody out, 1-run ball game with the way the pitching's been, but you got your cleanup guy up who's swinging a good stick.
1-1 pitch at the knees for strike 2. Shavers trying to move the runners over here with no outs. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Shavers, the left fielder. He was the one that put the ball in play, grounded to fielder's choice in the 4th that led to the lone run of this ball game. Fields comes set, kicks and fires. The 1-2 pitch, cut on a miss for strike 3 as Avitia hangs on. And Fields picks up his first out here in the bottom of the 6th. Big first out there as now the middle infielders can be ready for a double play ball to try to get out of this 6th inning. Adam Oviedo, the shortstop, he's 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts. We'll get ready to battle from the right side against the right-hander Fields. Fields set from the belt. First pitch to Oviedo. Curveball misses low and in.
I was joking with Sam Niederman, one of the Katuitt broadcasters before the game, that if Adam Oviedo came up with the bases loaded, I was going to drop my headset and just walk away. I'm glad that Shavers got out.
Fields looks back at second at Gonzalez. Fires Torrance home now as the 1-0 pitch is perfectly spotted on the outer half of the plate for strike 1. Count is now 1 ball and 1 strike on Oviedo. 37th round draft pick by the Minnesota Twins back in 2017. Hit just a $197 for the Kettleers last year as the 1-1 pitch is skied up. It'll be a blooper out towards shallow center field, but the second baseman, Soretti, able to make room out there. Fighting the sun behind second base, but makes the grab.
Yeah, sun's starting to set down from the third base side, really just beyond the bleachers out here, and just tons of shadows covering the infield on the left side of the diamond, and especially most of the infield at this point as well. But I mean, the outfield's starting to get shady. No lights here at Lowell Park.
Got a lot of help from the center fielder, Daniels. You can see he was galloping in rather quickly. Arajanu lines one in the gap in right center field. First pitch he sees is going to run all the way to the wall. One run is in. Being waved around third is Schmidt. He'll score easily as Anu dives in towards third base. And Arajanu has opened this ball game up here in the sixth with a 2-out triple.
2 out, 2 RBI triple for Anu, 6'2", 215 pounds, running around the bases so gracefully. And you knew that the way that Simonaris was pitching, no matter who Kelly Nicholson went to, you thought Katuitt might be able to capitalize, and they do. They waited for the opportunity, and you know what they say, walks come back to bite you, and that's exactly what happened. If he doesn't issue the free pass to Schmidt, it's 3 outs. Gets an out right there instead of the walk, and Anu doesn't come up in the frame.
First pitch swinging is Pasek, grounds on the right side of the infield. Second baseman Serretti moves to his left. Short throw on a first base, and Pasek is retired, but the Kettleers tack on 2 more off the bat of Arajanu. A 2-out triple, scores 2 for the Kettleers after 6. It's the Kettleers 3, the Firebirds nothing. We'll be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to Lowell Park. Katuitt 3, Orleans nothing as we head to the top of the 7th inning. And Kyle Nichols, the right-hander from Ball State, back out there for the Kettleers. Came in with 1 on and 1 out in the 6th, struck out 2 and issued a walk to get out of the jam. He'll get the bottom third of this Orleans lineup, starting with Danny Serretti. Righty on lefty matchup, Nichols standing tall from the first base side of the rubber. Right-hander working out of the windup. Here's the first pitch. Fastball upstairs at 96 for ball 1. It's a 3-0 Katuitt lead. They have held this Orleans offense to just 1 hit all evening. That came back in the first inning on a Zach Kokoska infield base knock. 1-0. Fastball slicing into left center field. Chavers on the run. He's able to get there in the left center field gap for the first out of the inning.
You just have to wonder, Serretti really hit that one a ton out there. If he was batting from the right side, that one looked like it would have dropped in because the slice helped the left fielder Chavers to track it down as it was curving towards him in left field.
We'll get a pinch hitter here for Orleans. Josh Zamora going to take his first licks of the day, ending David Ovidia's day at the dish. Ovidia was 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. So Zamora, who's been feast or famine for Orleans, going to pinch hit. The infielder out of Nevada. So with the Firebirds trailing by 3, only one hit tonight. They haven't a hit over the last 5 innings. Zamora, the 5'11", $190 junior, is batting just $143 through the first 11 games. Here's the first pitch. Fastball misses up and away for ball 1. It's Zamora's first pinch hit opportunity of the summer. Started the first 11, but Kelly Nicholson gave him the day off in the lineup. 0 for his last 14 right now. 1 out. Fastball misses low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Despite the struggles at the dish for Zamora, has drawn 5 walks along the way. Second team All-Mountain West Conference selection at Nevada this past season. Righty on righty matchup. Nichols shakes off the sign, takes a deep breath, the 2-0. Fastball skied behind the dish now to play, and it's 2-1. Now, despite a little bit of swing and miss for Zamora so far in the early parts of this summer, is tied for the team lead with 2 home runs. Well, Zamora and Raymond Gill with 2 through the first 11 games. It's tied for 7th in the Cape so far. 2-1 coming. Fastball misses upstairs. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Shea Whitcomb awaiting on deck for the Firebirds. The DH is 0 for 1 today. Drew a walk his last time up. 3-0 Katuitt lead. 1 away in the top of the 7th. Slightly open stance from the right side. 3-1 to Zamora. Fastball up and away. Ball 4. So Zamora works a 5-pitch walk, and the Firebirds have a 1-out base runner here in the 7th. So a chance for Shea Whitcomb to pass the baton along. Tying run waiting in the on-deck circle in the form of Zach Daniels. Whitcomb just 2 for his first 16 to start the summer. One of those 2, a big fly against the Wareham Gatemen on Sunday, was the difference maker in game 2. First pitch to Whitcomb, breaker misses low for ball 1. And after that game, Kelly Nicholson called him might be the best hitter at the Division II level. It's a lot of praise from Kelly. And rightfully so. Whitcomb batted .314 this past year at UC San Diego. Nichols set from the third base side. Here's the 1-0. Fastball misses low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Whitcomb was a D2 honorable mention All-American by the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association. Had 11 home runs as a middle infielder. That's pretty good. That'll play at any level. Snap throw over to first base by Nichols, but Zamora dives back in. Wouldn't be too surprised if Kelly Nicholson finds a spot for Josh Zamora to stay in the ballgame, given his defensive prowess early on in the summer. Would have to imagine as well that Rob Emery comes in behind the dish to catch the rest of this ballgame. 2-0 pitch. Fastball up in the zone. Check swing by Whitcomb. They'll appeal down to first base. He laid off, and it's 3 balls and no strikes.
Unless somehow Josh Zamora learned some catching skills over the last game or so.
You never know.
You never do.
Guy has played some second base, played some shortstop, and at the hot corner. Only 3 more to go to complete the infield tandem, if you will. Pitching might be hard to get to. 3-0. Fastball upstairs, ball 4. After a 5-pitch walk to Josh Zamora, Nichols tosses a 4-pitch walk to Shea Whitcomb, and the Birds will bring the tying run to the plate with 1 away in the 7th.
Well, you mentioned earlier in the game that you want to see Daniels put on as a show like he does during BP sometimes. Well, not a better opportunity than now. Got with a lot of pop in that bat. Seems like he is due at the plate.
Cody Pasek going to come out and have a word with Kyle Nichols on the mound. It's the 4th time around the lineup for the Firebirds, and they only have 1 hit in this ball game. Haven't had a hit in the last 5+ innings now. It's Cavaliers 3, Firebirds nothing, but Orleans with the tying run at the plate. Whitcomb on at first, Zamora off of second with 1 away, and Zach Daniels, the big bopper from Tennessee, digging in from the right side. Daniels 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. First pitch, fastball home run hack and a miss for strike 1. Daniels this past season at Tennessee, 4 home runs in 60 at-bats. Batting an even 200 for the Volunteers, but a physical specimen through and through. 6'2", 206 pounds. Looks like he could play linebacker on the gridiron. 0-1, a breaker up in the zone. That Daniels fans through, and it's quickly 0-2. And that's been Daniels' problem throughout his collegiate career. Struck out in nearly half of his at-bats at Tennessee this past season. Already has 11 Ks in just his 10th game on the Cape. 2 on with 1 away here in the 7th. Nichols ahead 0-2 in the count. Here's the pitch from the right-hander. Fastball up and in, and it's 1-2. But if you get a chance to come to the ballpark, watch Zach Daniels take BP. He puts on quite the show, and I'm sure he'll try and do that tomorrow at Fenway Park in front of the scouts. Sporting the red high socks from the right side. Close stance, stepping towards first base. Whitcomb and Zamora extending their leads, the 1-2. Breaker smacked the other way into the right center field gap. Hill on the run, he can't get there. Zamora chugging around from third. He'll score easily. Whitcomb getting the green light, and Daniels digging for third. Whitcomb scores without a throw, and into third base with a 2 RBI triple is Zach Daniels, and the Birds are on the board. It's 3-2 here in the 7th.
All I have to say is, how often do you see, like, the Kettleers getting a triple in the last half inning? All of a sudden, that scores 2, and then all of a sudden the other team comes back and has a triple of their own that scores 2 runs. You don't see that very often. But it has also brought Orleans right back into this game. Now only down a run, and the tying run over at third.
And now a chance for the Birds to tie this ball game up. Infield in, first pitch to Kokoska. He's swinging, flies this out to left field. Chavers ranging back, nears the left field line. He'll make the catch coming in. Daniels tagging up from third. The throw to the plate. Not in time. Zach Daniels slid around the tag. The throw up the third base line, and Kyle Nichols can't believe the call. His hands on his head. Cody Pasek arguing with the home plate umpire, Tom Ryback. But we're tied at 3 here in the 7th.
Well, that was a close play, and I think, you know, from our angle here, Daniels took the inside path towards the front part of the plate. He might have beaten that the glove tag there, but it was a bang play. Mike Roberts was coming out.
And after the Birds had just 1 hit across the first 6 innings, they have tied this ball game up. So now Tanner Murray will be the batter with nobody on. First pitch to Murray, a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. How about Zach Daniels putting on a show here at Lowell Park? Struggled in his first 3 ABs, but his 4th a big one. 1-0. Fastball misses upstairs. It's 2 balls and no strikes. That's exactly what the Firebirds needed with their offense. A little slow out of the gates.
Just comes in bunches. Only the second hit of the game, and it was a big one.
2-0. Fastball misses upstairs. Called a strike after it's brought down by Pasek, and it's 2-1. Amoeba strike zone. Righty on righty matchup. 2-1 to Murray. It's a fastball cut on and missed, and it's 2-2. Murray 0 for 2 today. Drew a walk his last time up. Swiped second, but struck out swinging in his first 2 plate appearances. Two balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, fastball misses upstairs, and the count runs full. It's incredible to see Zach Daniels just showcase the athleticism. Smacked a triple to right center, and then all the way to third to come home to score. 3-2 pitch misses high and in, ball 4, and Tanner Murray now reaches base. And the Birds have the go-ahead run on first.
Well, this is Big momentum swing here. The Firebirds down 3 after allowing 2 more to come in the bottom of the 6th, and now come back with 3 of their own and now have something brewing here with 2 outs.
First pitch to Max Troiani, fastball cut on and miss for strike 1. Orleans then Katuitt tied at 3 with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Troiani 0 for 3 today. Entered tonight's ball game, leading the Cape with a .378 batting average. 0-1. Breaker fouled back to the screen, right towards our radio equipment once again. It's 0-2.
It's like there's a magnet over here. Nothing over to the head side, the far side.
Oh, and 2 the count to the cleanup man Troiani, the pitch. Fastball upstairs, and it's 1-2. Be interesting to see if we saw it an inning ago. Murray try and swipe second and get himself into scoring position with 2 outs. Here's the 1-2. Curveball that doesn't break, stays upstairs. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Troiani with a chance to just move the line and get it to Eddie McCabe, who waits on deck. Birds have scored 3 runs in the inning on just 1 hit. That was a 2 RBI triple by Zach Daniels. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Murray on at first. He's running the pitch. Fastball chopped to the left side. Going to be a tough play for Schmidt. Gliding towards his left. Strong throw to first base. And the side is retired. But the Birds get even on Zach Daniels' 2-run triple, followed 1 pitch later by Zach Kokoska's sac fly. Zach squared, cooking here at Lowell Park with the Birds and the Kettleers tied at 3. We've reached stretch time. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Brand new ball game here at Lowell Park with the Firebirds scoring 3 runs in the top half of this inning. We are tied at 3 heading to the home half of the 7th. Cam Fields back up for his 2nd inning of work. First pitch to Mason McWhorter, a fastball in there for strike 1. Firebirds 3, Kettleers 3. Bottom of the 7th here at Lowell Park. Righty on lefty matchup, the 0-1. Fastball misses outside, and it's 1-1. McWhorter 0 for 2 in his Cape Cod Baseball League debut. Flew out the other way to left in his last time up. Here's the 1-1. It's a fastball slashed the other way down the left side now to play. And it's 1-2. McWhorter, a first baseman out of Georgia Southern. His good buddy, Joe Nahas, you got to feel a little bad for him, was sharp through the first 4, will not walk away with the result. 1-2. Fastball misses low, and it's 2-2. Next part, the Firebirds and Kettleers will battle. Besides each other is sunlight at Lowell Park.
Just about to bring that up.
2-2 from Fields. Fastball fouled off the mask of Rob Emery, who just checked into this ball game behind the dish, replacing Josh Zamora. Is Zamora who pinch hit and came around to score. Josh drew a walk and scored on the Cam Fields triple.
So sunset from Katuitt is officially 8:18 p.m.
2-2 pitch. Fastball once again skied down the left side and out of play. We'll do it again.
It's currently 7:22, so less than an hour of sunlight.
I have a feeling by about 8:10, if not 8:05, this game will be called, if it's not decided at that point. Fields is 2-2. Breaker, just a check swing fouled back by McWhorter, and we'll do it again. Cam Hill awaits on deck, the center fielder from Kentucky. Birds' offense has been a struggle in the early parts of this summer, but exploding for 3 runs in the top half of this inning. Fields out of the windup, the 2-2. Breaker drops in there, but just misses outside, and the count runs full. It's a backdoor curveball from Fields at 87 that you thought caught the outside part of the plate. Didn't get it. Payoff pitch, fastball fouled back to the screen. And we'll do it again. McWhorter, a rising senior, originally from Statesboro, Georgia. Here's the 3-2. Fastball that McWhorter gets a piece of off the end of the bat, and once again, the count will remain full. Firebirds 3 runs on just 2 hits, no errors for Katuitt. It's 3 runs on 6 hits with an error. Think about this ball game. Walks have played a huge factor. 3-2. Breaker that ties up McWhorter, drops in there, strike 3. A nasty hook from Cam Fields picks up the first out of the 7th inning.
Although Cam Fields has, struggled at times this year, I mean, he has some stuff, and we've seen it flash at times just like this, AB, against McWhorter. Fighting and fighting with him the whole count, then drops in a 3-2 curveball. You got to have some confidence in that.
So Cam Hill digs in from the left side. The Cam battle. First pitch, a hook that fools Hill for strike 1. Cam Field spelled K-A-M. Cam Hill spelled C-A-M.
And there's also Cam Thompson for Harwich with the same C-A-M.
0-1, Fields, beg your pardon, Hill trying to bunt his way on, just fouls this one back well beyond the fence and out of play, and it's 0-2.
The battle of Cams has you mixed up.
Orleans then Katuitt, tied at 3 with 1 away here in the home half of the 7th. Hill a single back in the 3rd, breaking out of an 0-for-11 slump. 0-2, fastball just lunged down on the third base side. Rolls foul, and we'll do it again. Seems like Fields just much more confident on the mound in his 2nd inning of work. Very talented arm out of Texas. 2-way player for the Longhorns. Since it's 6'4", $197. Working out of the windup, 0-2. Breaking ball cut on and missed, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Cam Fields, and there's 2 away here in the 7th.
Yeah, just motoring through Cam Hill there on 3 pitches or so, 4 pitches. But definitely a lot more confident on the mound here in his 2nd inning of work.
Got tagged for 2 runs back in the 6th on a 2 RBI triple by Arajan New. And we talked about the walks in the top half contributing to 2 Orleans runs. Last inning, it contributed to a run for the Kettleers. First pitch to Christian Robinson. A fastball fouled back for strike 1. Robinson a day to forget, 0-for-3. Hasn't hit the ball out of the infield yet. Fields in his 4th appearance of the summer, pitching into his 7th inning, 0-1. Fastball backs up Robinson, and it's 1-1. Made 20 appearances this past season for the Longhorns. Racked up 3 saves out of the bullpen as well. 1-1 pitch. Curveball smacked the other way and out of play. And it's 1-2. So look at that. Cam Fields 1 strike away from striking out the side here in the 7th. Firebirds scored 3 runs in the top half after Katuitt tacked on 2 more in the bottom of the 6th. We're knotted up at 3 apiece here in the home half of the 7th. 1-2. Breaking ball corked out to deep right field. Kokoska ranging in. Looks like Robinson got under this one. Kokoska makes the catch on the run. And the side is retired. A 1-2-3 easy breezy inning for Cam Fields as we're through 7 complete innings here at Lowell Park. The Birds and the Cats tied at 3. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Top of the 8th we go here at Lowell Park. Orleans and Katuitt tied at 3 in the first of 4 meetings between these two squads this summer. New arm into the ball game for the Katuitt Cavaliers. It's the southpaw from NC State, Nick Swinney. The rising sophomore making his second appearance of the summer. Just pitched an inning and a third a few days ago. Picked up the win despite giving up a run on 3 hits. He'll face 5, 6, and 7 of this Orleans lineup. First pitch to Eddie McCabe, popped up on the right side. Catcher Cody Pasek giving chase near the Orleans dugout, but this runs out of play for strike 1. Katuitt got the scoring way back when in the 4th inning. They brought home a run on a fielder's choice by Parker Chavers. Then they tacked on 2 more in the 6th thanks to a 2 RBI triple by Araja New. But Orleans scoring 3 in the top half of the 7th to tie this ball game up. 0-1. Curveball slicing into shallow right center field. Robinson coming on. He'll make the one-handed snag for the first out of the inning. Continues to get a little darker here at Lowell Park as time wanes on. It's now Raymond Gill, the batter. He's 0 for 2 today. Beg your pardon, 0 for 3. First pitch to Gill. Curveball, slow roller up the middle. Gets past the shortstop Oviedo into center field for a base hit. So Raymond Gill reaches safely for the first time today. It's just the Birds' 3rd hit. And Orleans is a 1-out base runner here in the 8th. So the Firebirds with the go-ahead run on first base. And Danny Soretti, the switch-hitting second baseman, turned around with Swinney on the bump. Lefty on righty matchup. Swinney out of the stretch. First pitch. Fastball fouled back for strike 1. If you think Soretti's still chomping at the bits for his first hit, boy, would he like one here. A North Carolina Tar Heel against an NC State Wolfpack. Swinney, a lanky kid, 6'4", 180 pounds. He's set at the chest, snapped out of first base, and Gill dives back in safely. Gill aboard at first with one away here in the 8th. The 0-1 to Soretti. Fastball paints the outside corner. It's 0-2. Some internet problems here at Lowell Park. Internet just crashing in Katuitt. 3-3 the score between Orleans and Katuitt here in the top of the 8th inning. 0-2 from Swinney. Breaking ball tipped at the third base side and foul. And we'll do it again.
All I have to say is thank goodness for the iPhone.
I can't even connect.
It took me a while for me to connect my phone as a hotspot, but without that, I don't know how some of these broadcasts would be as smooth as they look. Or
so Swinney's 0-2. Breaker chased by Soretti, and Gill going to trot down to second base. Soretti's trying to argue that he got a piece, and for Soretti's case, that would be good. For Orleans' sake, maybe not. I'm sure the Birds would love a runner in scoring position like Raymond Gill just did, cruising into second with 2 away. So Rob Emery, who came into this ball game as a defensive replacement, will take his first licks at the dish. Emery, a rising redshirt senior at San Fran. Has played some catcher and has been over at first base this summer, but chance to deliver a big RBI. First pitch, a curveball fouled back for strike 1. Orleans 3, Katuitt 3. A runner on second with 2 outs here in the 8th. Emery's just 2 for his last 18 here on the Cape. 0-1. A breaker smacked out to right field. Robinson ranging back, has room in deep right field. He'll make the grab, and the side is retired. So the Birds threaten once again here in the 8th, but Orleans scores no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. We're through 7.5 here at Lowell Park. Orleans and Katuitt tied at 3, and Scotty Gange has an update for us. Scotty, you saw a thing or two a couple innings ago with Zach Daniels. What did you see?
Yeah, so I was hanging out in left field getting some video that we're happily going to post later because to me, guys, it looked like he was safe at home. I know probably if your angle more to the right side behind home plate, it looked like he was tagged, but he was tagged in the chest. And the thing is the play was a little bit more to the left, so the catcher had to reach over his body to tag him out at home, tag him right in the chest. So it looked like to me, and on my camera, I got kind of a blurry vision at it, but I think he got his toe in, and it was pretty funny in talking to Zach Daniels before the game. He had about an hour before the game really to just hang out, as every player does after every game, before every game after batting practice. And I asked him, I go, do you have any type of rituals, anything? He goes, no, man, I just kind of hang out. I think it's too much time. I really want to play baseball. And for him, he didn't start hot. He was 0 for 3 to start the day, come back and get a triple, and then score the tying run, which I do believe in my eyes and in what I watched in terms of the replay, he was safe, and it's proved to be a very, very important play, and it's made it a little more interesting here in Katuitt.
Scotty, next mission for you, find out what Kelly Nicholson and Mike Roberts
Dude,
are discussing
I know.
right now.
I was just thinking that.
The 2 managers have gotten together
Trash
with the home
talking.
plate. Yeah, okay. Okay. Tom Ryberg, Kelly Nicholson, and Mike Roberts conversing behind home plate right now with the Firebirds and the Kettleers tied at 3 here in the 8th. Still plenty of daylight left at Lowell Park, but maybe trying to put together a plan for what's to come in an inning or 2.
Well, yeah, because you have to finish an inning before you. So let's say Orleans scores 5 runs in the top of the 9th. And
Hypothetically,
and then they call in the bottom half of the 9th. It reverts back to whatever the score was the previous complete inning. Well, let's say it stays at 3. So that's how everything would work out. So that's why sometimes, too, we mentioned, if you just swing at a pitch, we talk about that before in a broadcast. You swing at a pitch well outside, it goes to the backstop, you reach on first base if you want your don't want your average to go down, but to reach base. Well, that's another thing as well. If you're the opposing team, why don't you just let a team run up a couple runs on you, then darkness is called, and, well, wash it away.
So we'll get a pitching change here for the Orleans Firebirds. With the Firebirds and the Kettleers tied at 3. Michael Hobbs, the right-hander from St. Mary's, will enter in the ball game for the Firebirds. Hobbs set to make his 5th appearance of the summer. Has tossed 5 innings of scoreless baseball, struck out 2, and walked nobody. Pitching in his first appearance in 6 days through 2 scoreless against the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. Orleans and Katuitt tied at 3 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Michael Hobbs into the ballgame for the Firebirds, set to face Nick Gonzalez. Here's the first pitch. Curveball catches the outside corner for strike 1. Gonzalez has put on a show so far for the Kettleers. A double in the 4th, came around to score the Cats' first run. Then started the rally in the 6th as well. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball skied to right field. Kokoska takes a couple steps to his left. He's got a beat on it, makes the one-handed grab for the first out of the inning. So Hobbs picks up a first quick out of the bullpen, making his 5th appearance for Orleans. And Kelly Nicholson has not allowed an earned run now over his first 5 1/3 on the Cape, including 2 scoreless against the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox 6 days ago. So there's 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th with the Firebirds and the Kettleers squared at 3. And Casey Schmidt now the batter. Here's the first pitch. Curveball bounces low for ball 1.
Well, that pitch had some nice movement on it. Watch that one all the way in.
Started on the right part of the plate, outside of Schmidt from the right-handed side, and broke into the left-handed batter's box. 1-0. A fastball skied on the left side of the infield. Third baseman Murray throwing his hands up. He's taking charge, makes the one-handed grab for the second out of the inning.
Well, that was an easier grab than the one he had in against Wareham on Sunday in the doubleheader, where the wind blew it all away. He started at third base and then came across the mound and stumbling onto the mound and made the catch.
We'll give you the final line on Cam Fields, who out of the Orleans bullpen through 2 innings, allowed 2 runs, both earned 2 hits, a walk, and 3 Ks. First pitch to Parker Chavers, a breaking ball that bounces low for ball 1. Orleans and Katuitt, 3 apiece with 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th. And if Outlider's talk got to anyone, it seems like it's really impacted Michael Hobbs, pitching people backwards today. 1-0. A breaker that runs inside, almost clips Chavers, and it's 2-0. Chavers 0 for 2 today, a pair of strikeouts. Race base on a fielder's choice. Righty on lefty matchup, 2-0. Fastball catches the outside corner, and it's 2-1. Boy, would it be dramatic if Adam Oviedo, who waits on deck, plates the game-winning run tonight. 2-1 pitch. Fastball rocketed into left center field. Troiani ranging over. This one drops down in front of him. It's a 2-out single for Parker Chavers. And that snaps the streak of 6 in a row retired. And the Kettleers with a 2-out base runner.
Well, if Oviedo does something big for the Kettleers to help aid in this maybe victory, we can call him a Firebird killer then.
He went 3 for 9 last summer against the Birds with 2 home runs. Of course, the foul slam at Eldridge Park. Go-ahead run at first base for the Kettleers in a 3-3 ball game. Here's the first pitch. Fastball misses upstairs for ball 1. Oviedo has been held in check tonight, 0 for 3. Has not hit a ball out of the infield so far. Chavers on at first. He's got good speed. 1 for 1 this summer in stolen bases. Swiped 10 this past season at Coastal Carolina. 1-0. Fastball paints the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Oviedo spent his past 2 seasons at TCU. He's transferring to Oral Roberts University. Batted just under the Mendoza line last summer for the Kettleers and had 3 home runs in 28 games, 2 of them against the Orleans Firebirds.
what some guys do against certain teams. They just, for whatever reason, they just flat out rake.
One might say he should only have one home run against the Orleans Firebirds.
Sam Finn thought otherwise.
Sam Finn had one opinion, everyone else in the ballpark had another. Hop set from the third base side. 1-1, runner going. Breaking ball misses outside. Throw down from Rob Emery, bounced, and Soretti blocks it down. But Shaver swipes second, his second stolen base of the summer.
So there is the go-ahead run over at second base in Chavers. So Oviedo a single away from driving in the go-ahead run.
And boy, do you not want to walk Oviedo right here. You have a Raja New waiting on deck, who had a 2 RBI triple back in the 6th to put the Kettleers on top 3-0 at the time. Since then, the Firebirds scored 3 unanswered in the 7th to tie this ball game up. Couple of West Coast kids in the battery for the Firebirds. Hobbs originally from Corona, California. Rob Emery out of San Francisco. Righty on righty matchup. Go ahead run in second base with 2 away here in the 8th. 2-1 the count to the 5-hole hitter Adam Oviedo. Hobbs checks on the runner, the 2-1. Breaker catches the outside corner, and it's 2-2. Firebirds with good arms in the outfield today. Trani in left, Daniels in center, and Kakaska in right. Outfield straight away for the Birds here in the 8th. 3-3 the score. 2-2. Breaker tails outside, and the count runs full. Raja New just unstrapping the batting gloves and tightening them up in the on-deck circle. He'd love to get an opportunity in this inning. Mike Roberts with his hands on his hips at the third base coaching box, just staring right at Parker Chavers on second. Chavers dancing around. Hobbs set. Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball, caught on and missed, strike 3. Big time strikeout from Michael Hobbs to end the threat. The Kettleers put the go-ahead run in scoring position, but Hobbs gets out of the jam. Katuitt scores no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. We're through 8 complete innings here at Lowell Park. Orleans and Katuitt tied at 3. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Gill trying to walk it off with the wind.
Bybee working rather quickly. The 2-2 pitch.
The first base.
Breaking ball hit hard and deep to left. And Tico chases it. It's gone. Ray Gill walks it off for Orleans.
The University of Miami first baseman.
Firebirds 1, Gaten nothing.
Final out of the first
it didn't take much. 1 run on his 4 hits
in the
for the
first 7
Firebirds.
innings. And Gill crosses home plate. He is mobbed by all the water in the Sunshine Season.
Top of the 9th we go here at Lowell Park. Orleans and Katuitt tied at 3. And Nick Swinney, who was nasty in that 8th inning, will come out for his 2nd inning of work. Swinney retired the Birds on just 4 hitters, working around a 1-out soft single by Raymond Gill. And he'll get 9-1 and 2 for Orleans in the frame, starting with the DH, Shea Whitcomb. Whitcomb digs in from the right side. Swinney back out for his 2nd inning of work. First pitch from the southpaw. Fastball cut on and missed for strike 1. Firebirds and Kettleers tied at 3 here in the top of the 9th at Lowell Park. With Swinney, the 6'4" sophomore southpaw out of NC State. Working from the third base side of the rubber, 0-1. Fastball lined to the right side into shallow right field. Second baseman Gonzalez going out. He gives way to Christian Robinson, who makes the grab, and there's 1 away. So that'll flip it to the top of this Orleans lineup, and currently the man who has done it all at the dish for the Firebirds, Zach Daniels. A 2 RBI triple in the 7th, and on the very next pitch, came home to score on a sac fly by Zach Kokoska. Zach squared, getting it done in the 7th. Lefty on righty matchup as Daniels digs in with a close stance. 3-3 the score with one away in the top of the 9th. Here's the first pitch. Fastball cut on and missed for strike 1. Instead of sending it to a replay in Hyannis, we sent a video review to Scotty Gage, and he said an athletic slide from Zach Daniels got him in safely. Daniels 1 for 4 today with that 2 RBI triple. 0-1, a backdoor curveball that paints the outside part of the plate, and it's 0-2.
Who needs Hyannis when you got Scotty Gage?
Sweeney looking for a second K in relief. Now Daniels calls time and steps out of the box. Zach Kokoska waits on deck for the Firebirds. Drove in the tying run back in the 7th. 0-2 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. 90-mile-an-hour heater from the southpaw up in the zone. Daniels couldn't catch up, and there's 2 away here in the 9th.
Well, Swinney really has it working. Showcasing the backdoor curve, which is just pure filth. And then goes back to a fastball to get Daniels swinging.
It's now Zach Kokoska, the last hope for the Firebirds here in the top of the 9th, and what potentially might be their last time up at the dish. For a multitude of reasons. First pitch to Kokoska, breaking ball, and catches the outside corner for strike 1. Potentially, this may be the last inning, even if neither side scores. This game may be called due to darkness. 0-1. Curveball misses low, and it's 1-1. The other side to the coin, obviously, would be if Orleans doesn't score here in the top half, and Katuitt walks it off in the home half. Here's the 1-1. Fastball paints the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Kokoska 1 for 3 today. Singled in the first, drove in a run with a sac fly in the 7th. 1-2, check swing into right center field. This one gets down for a base hit. Zach Kokoska, a game to remember in the early part of the summer. He's aboard for the second time today, and he represents the go-ahead run on first base.
Sometimes all you need is a base runner. Firebirds have one right now. And this is the part of the lineup that's very dangerous for the Firebirds. Guys that can spray the ball all over the park.
So Kokoska aboard on at first with 2 down here in the top of the 9th. With the Firebirds and the Kettleers tied at 3. Swinney a check on Kokoska at first base and nothing doing. Kokoska stole second way back in that first inning. It was his first stolen base of the summer. The All Big 12 honorable mention. 8 for 10 in stolen base attempts this past season at Kansas State. Swinney another snapped over to first base, and Kokoska steps back in. Murray at the dish. An interesting day. 2 strikeouts in his first 2 plate appearances, both swinging, then drew a pair of walks. Firebirds and Kettleers tied at 3 with a go-ahead run on first base here in the top of the 9th. First pitch to Murray. Fastball cut on and missed for strike 1.
Mike Roberts giving some directions to some outfielders out there. Left fielder Chavers shading him out towards right center. Sitting him back a little too.
No doubles defense for the Kettleers. Third baseman Schmidt hugging the third base line. 0-1. Breaker flared down the right side by Murray. First baseman McCorder going into foul ground. He makes the grab, and the side is retired. So another scoreless frame for Nick Swinney out of the bullpen. He works around a 2-out flare shot single by Zach Kokoska. Kettleers will try and walk it off in the home half of the 9th. Orleans scores no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. 3-3 the score between the Firebirds and the Kettleers. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Bottom of the ninth we go here at Lowell Park. The Firebirds and the Kettleers tied at 3. Michael Hobbs back out there for his second inning of work. And he will face 6, 7, and 8 for the Kettleers, starting with Araja New, the DH out of Kentucky, who has a 2 RBI triple in this ball game. Righty on lefty matchup. First pitch from Hobbs. A breaking ball cut on and miss for strike 1. A new swing for the fences, and for the third time in the first 5 batters he's faced, Hobbs starts the Kettleers hitter off with a curveball. 0-1 from the right-hander. Another breaker misses upstairs, and it's 1-1. 7:53 local time at Lowell Park. Sun's starting to set. Might be the last half inning in Katuitt. 1-1. Breaker in on the knees. Broke back towards the plate, but missed inside, and it's 2-1. Will we get extras here, or will it be called due to darkness? 2-1. Fastball skied into shallow left field. Anu just missed this one. Trani coming in. He's going to make the two-handed grab over the left shoulder for the first out of the ninth. The other alternative, obviously, if Katuitt walks it off before we finish the ninth.
Yeah, I mentioned Anu just missed that one. Got a barrel on it, but could not bring the bat through the zone. Is it a little bit quicker to drive it out to the outfield?
So Cody Pasek, and what a story this might be for the Kettleers. Righty on lefty matchup, first pitch. Breaker misses low and inside for ball 1. Pasek bounced out his first time up. Beg your pardon, singled his first time up and then bounced out his second AB. Came in after Colton Kessler got banged up. 1-0, fastball paints the inside corner, and it's 1-1. Orleans and Katuitt tied at 3 with 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. Pasek, a Katuitt, Massachusetts native. Playing in the ballpark he idolized growing up. 1-1. Breaking ball slapped the other way but foul, and it's 1-2. Pasek attends the University of Maine, and for those of you that don't know, one of Maine's assistant coaches, pretty popular in the Cape Cod Baseball League. John Schiffner taking his talents up there after 25 years with the Chatham A's organization. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball that's fouled back, and we'll do it again. Schiff, the winningest manager in the history of the CCBL. 25 years with the Anglers, 2 championships, 6-time East Division champ.
And former Providence College Friar.
I was waiting for it. There's more accolades in the CCBL before we get to Providence. 16 playoff appearances, the all-time winningest manager with 541 regular season wins. Hobbs steps off the rubber. Looked like there's a bug in his face as he was trying to deliver home.
I just want to say, too, interesting note about John Schiffner. He used to do broadcasting on the student radio station at PC for hockey in the 70s. So, it's your tidbit for the day.
Firebirds and Kettleers tied at 3 here in the bottom of the ninth. Righty on lefty matchup. Here's the 1-2 to Pasek. Breaking ball that slapped foul by Pasek, just a fighting off swing, and we'll do it again. And a great at-bat here by Cody Pasek. Sunset like we talked about, around 8:15 tonight. 1-2 pitch. Fastball that's fouled off once again. And we'll do it again at 1-2. So Hobbs and Pasek going back and forth in the bottom of the ninth here at Lowell Park. 1-2 the count to the catcher from Maine. 1-2. Breaking ball runs in on the feet of Pasek. He laid off, and it's 2-2. The longer this at-bat goes on, the less of a chance it seems that we'll play a 10th here at Lowell Park. 2-2 the count to Cody Pasek. Here's the pitch from Hobbs. Breaking ball drops in there but misses upstairs, and the count runs full.
I'm sure Kelly's going to ask, where did that one miss? That was a pretty good pitch there from Hobbs.
Maybe the downside of pinch hitting for David Aviti earlier in the ball game, but Kelly Nicholson had to tie the ball game up earlier. Payoff pitch. Breaking ball corked into center field. Daniels coming on. He'll get there. Daniels read it off the bat, came charging in to take away the sinking line drive off the bat of Cody Pasek, and there's 2 down here in the 9th.
Well, we can thank Sam Martika and his spray charts that he delivers to. One of the interns for the Firebirds delivers spray charts to Kyle Nicholson as defensive lineman out there shifted. Daniels shading more towards left center.
So Mason McCorder, who's 0 for 3 in his first Cape at bats, will dig in. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball misses low for ball 1. Orleans 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors. Katuitt 3 runs on 7 hits with 1 error. 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th, righty on lefty matchup. 1-0 from Hobbs. Breaker runs inside, catches the part of the plate, and it's 1-1. The amoeba strike zone from Tom Ryberg continues. Here's the 1-1 from Hobbs. Breaking ball smacked up the middle. Soretti can't get there, and this trickles into center field. McCorder his first CCBL hit. And the Kettleers the winning run on first base.
Now I'd expect a no doubles defense from Kelly. Anything out in the gaps, try to cut it off.
Firebirds looking for at least 1 point in this ball game, if not to somehow send it in extras and to play a quick 10th. Seems a little unlikely at this point, given the sun has gone down. Just nice orange haze above the tree line at Lowell Park. Orleans and Katuitt squared at 3 with the go-ahead and the winning run on first base. First pitch to Cam Hill misses outside for ball 1. Hill 1 for 3 today, singled in the 3rd, struck out swinging his last time up. McCorder on first base, 3 stolen bases this past season at Georgia Southern. 1-0. Fastball tails outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Christian Robinson, the leadoff man for Katuitt, waits on deck if he would get the chance at the dish. Just past 8 o'clock local time here in Katuitt. And Mike Roberts calling time. He's going to get a pinch runner on first base. Dante Williams, speedy outfielder from Arizona, going to pinch run for McCorder at first. And for good reason, probably knows this is the last half inning. So take out the first baseman and put in the speedy outfielder from AZ. Kettleers faithful cheering on the Kettleers. Go do it, Katuitt. Williams on at first, the pinch runner with 2 down here in the 9th. Righty on lefty matchup, 2-0. Breaking ball that ties up Hill. We'll see if he went around. They appeal down to 3rd, and he did not go. Some chatter among the other members of the Orleans media team if that was a strike or not. Williams the winning run on first base. Here's the 3-0. Fastball paints the inside corner, and it's 3-1. He'll enter the day 0 for his last 11. Had a single in the 3rd to snap that stretch, but just batting a .179 coming into the ball game. Rising junior out of Georgetown, Kentucky, 3-1. Fastball tails outside, ball 4. So after a ground ball single back up the middle, Hobbs issues a free pass to Cam Hill. And now the winning run on second base in the form of Dante Williams. And it looks like Kelly Nicholson will take the long stroll out to Michael Hobbs on the mound. Will he make the call to the bullpen is the next question.
Takes that long stroll out to the mound.
And now he will raise the right arm, motion down to the bullpen, and he will take the ball from Michael Hobbs. We'll see who emerges from the Orleans pen down the right side when we come back, with the Firebirds and the Kettleers tied at 3. With the winning run on second base, here in the bottom of the ninth. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Orleans and Katuitt tied at 3 here in the bottom of the ninth. With the Cavaliers, the winning run on second base in the form of Dante Williams. And Kelly Nicholson calls out to the bullpen. He'll get the right-hander from Chapman. Nick Garcia set to make his 4th appearance. A fireballer from the D3 ranks. 0-1 with a 6 even ERA in 3 innings pitched. Has walked 2 and struck out 2. Last pitch, game 2 of the doubleheader on Sunday against the Gatemen through a scoreless inning, allowing just 1 hit. He spent a lot of time with Al Leiter yesterday after Al spoke to the entire Birds team, saying, be confident in your stuff. Let that fastball go, but don't be afraid to mix in your breaking stuff as well. So Cam Hill on first base, his run practically means nothing. The winning run, Dante Williams at second. Orleans and Katuitt tied at 3 here in the bottom of the ninth with 2 away. Christian Robinson, the leadoff man, digs in for the 5th time tonight. Righty on lefty matchup. The 6'4" right-hander set at the chest. Garcia, deep breath, the first pitch. Fastball at 92, misses up and away for ball 1. Robinson 0 for 4 today. But if he finds a way to get on, even if it's a walk, Nick Gonzalez waits on deck. Gonzalez has been the thorn in the Firebirds' side so far tonight. 1-0 from Garcia. Fastball runs inside, hits the knob of the bat, and it's 1-1.
Well, that's a lucky break for Orleans. If that comes in and hits them, bases are loaded then, and then the winning run is just 90 feet away.
Looks like this may be the last half inning here at Lowell Park. Starting to get a little darker here in Katuitt. Winning run on second base for the Cavaliers, 1-1. Fastball catches the inside corner, and it's 1-2. Garcia painting the inner half, and the Cavaliers faithful not too happy with the call. So 1-2 the count to the Cavaliers leadoff man. Dante Williams, the winning run on second base, with 2 outs here in the bottom of the ninth. 3-3 the score. 1-2 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. 91-mile-an-hour heater from Garcia, blown past Robinson. And we are through 9 innings here at Lowell Park with the Firebirds and the Kettleers tied at 3. The umpires getting together right in front of the pitcher's mound. We'll see what the word is, and they will call it due to darkness. So after 9 complete innings here at Lowell Park, the Firebirds and the Kettleers tie at 3. And what a game it was for Orleans, especially late, scoring 3 runs in the top of the 7th inning, sparked by a 2 RBI triple by Zach Daniels.
Yeah, Zach Daniels, a guy that was having a quiet night until that 7th inning triple sets up the Zach Kokoska sacrifice fly. And, well, the Firebirds bullpen able to hold on to the lead towards the end of this game. But another gem of a start by Adam Seminaris with another strong 5 innings. So he has been a diamond in the rough for the Firebirds. A guy that has really been a nice addition for this year's starting rotation.
Firebirds got swept by the Kettleers last summer. That cannot happen here in 2019 as the Birds notch a 3-3 tie against Catuit in the first of 4 meetings in 2019. Orleans picks up another point. The Firebirds in second place alone in the East. Orleans 6-4-2. Catuit continues their climb up the West Division. They are 6-5-2 alone in first place in the West. And Scotty Gange is heading up the first base side with the Birds baller of the game as Scotty makes his way towards Zach Daniels. Thomas Zinzarella will chat with Zach Kokoska, the Zach Squared battery.
The Zach Squared. I like that addition. Zach Squared may be the new, nickname that we're going to have around here. As again, it was Seminaris who pitched 5 strong. Cam Fields came on with another 2. He allowed the 2-run triple to Araj Anu, but Cam Fields came on strong in his second inning of work, striking out a pair. And it was nice to see Cam Fields back to his normal self. And then Hobbs coming in before Nick Garcia, maybe with the biggest out of the game, as he strikes out Christian Robinson to end the game after the game was called due to darkness. Again, so the Firebirds, 3 runs on 4 hits and no errors. As the Firebirds will face these same Catuit Kettleers on Friday. Tomorrow, again, Catuit is going to Fenway as our Sly reporter Scotty Gange has found Zach Daniels. Scotty, let's send it over to you.
I did find him. He was getting the orange shoes on. Zach, first off, heck of a hit out there in the 7th inning. You start 0 for 3 and you come back and you shine in your moment. How did you keep yourself in the game, knowing that moment might come up later?
I had a talk with Zamora. I had to get a shout out to him. He kept my head centered and just kept me believing in myself to deliver, and that helped a lot.
2-run RBI triple. You then score the tying run. You were moving from third to home. What was going through your head as you were sprinting home?
I was moving, yes, but I was still a little tired from the triple. Yeah.
Of course, these guys, it was a long game, down 3-0 for the most of the game. You guys come back, and then it was just kind of scratching and clawing your guys' way to stay in the ball game and finally end it with a tie. How does that really treat this mentality of the team?
We got out to a slow start, but we strung some hits together, got people on base, and it just we can carry the momentum into the next day. We had a couple off days because of the weather, but now we're going to get on a roll.
We're getting on a roll. Zach Daniels, the Birds baller of the game. Come on, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys, we'll send.
And thank you, Scott. Again, that was our Birds baller of the game, Zach Daniels, who's 2-run triple in the 7th inning, put the Firebirds on the board. And then Zach Kokoska with the game-tying sacrifice fly in the 7th. Zach will be joining us. Zach Squared, as Josh White named it. Zach Kokoska will be joining us in just a few seconds. We'll take a look around the Cape League first, as the Brewster Whitecaps fall at home to the Wareham Gatemen 11-0. And the Gatemen, again, that potent offense showing off in Brewster. And then in Bourne, in the bottom of the 8th inning, Bourne holding a 4-1 lead over Chatham at Doran Park. Over at Arnie Allen Diamond, the Hyannis Heartbirds using a grand slam to catapult themselves into a 5-run cushion in the bottom of the 7th. They lead 8-3. And then in Harwich, bottom of the 6th inning over there at White House Field, YD with a 2-1 lead over the Mariners. So, again, things shake up right now. If Chatham, if that result's hold, they're down 4-1. They would move to 7-5-1. And then Orleans would move with this tie. They've moved to 6-4-2, pick up their second tie on the season. Brewster falling to 6-6-1. They'll fall behind Orleans. They were tied coming in to this game. And then YD, if they can hold on, they'll move on to 7-4-1. So that's how the standings are shaking out in the East. Out in the West, with this Cotuit loss, they fall to, tie, 6-5-2. Wareham moves on, a 7-5-1 with their 11-0 victory over the Whitecaps. And then out in Falmouth, they'll drop to 4-5-1 if that result holds out in Falmouth. And Hyannis trying to pick up their second win of the season. They're 109-1 currently right now. They hold a 5-run lead over the Falmouth Commodores. As I'm now joined by Zach Kokoska here in Cotuit. Zach, thanks for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
So Zach, after Zach Daniels, we call the Zach squared in the 1 and 2 spot in that lineup. Zach Daniels with the 2-run triple in the 7th, and then you come on with a sacrifice fly. What were you thinking about before going into that AB?
I was thinking just hit the early fastball, elevate something, put it in the outfield, sacrifice the at-bat a little bit because the team needed the run for the tie. So I was just thinking elevate something early, and that's what I did, and it worked out for the team.
It worked out. Close play at home. Zach Daniels just beating in a throw, and just going back a little bit before that backtrack, and you guys were down 3-0, right? Especially right after in the bottom of the 6th. Cotuit puts up a 2 spot on the board. You guys come right back with three of your own. What does it really say about your team in general?
It says that the Firebirds, just don't give up. We even if we don't have the momentum early in the game, we don't give up, and this is a special group of guys, and we're going to fight till the last pitch to try to get a win for Orleans. So just shows that we're a bunch of grinders, and we'll do what it takes to win.
I'm sure Firebirds fans will be happy to hear about that. And just going back to last week or so, you guys have had a couple of rainouts, at least extended off days. Now, as a player, how does that, how is it tough for you guys? You're playing extra off days, 2-3 days off. How do you guys stay loose during those off days?
We just take our reps in the cage. We play when, the umpires or the league lets us play. We're always ready to play no matter what the weather condition is, and we just stay locked in and stay focused. And when we get to the plate, eventually, when there's good weather, because there hasn't been that much lately, we're ready to play. So, yeah, we're just always focused and ready to play. We're never hoping for a rain out or anything, but, yeah, like I said, we're always focused.
Yeah, it's been tough to play some baseball here on Cape Cod this summer. It has not been your typical Cape sunny and 85 days on the Cape. It's been more like rainy and 60. Moving into tomorrow, you guys are going up to Fenway to hit a little BP, a little IO. What are you most excited about tomorrow?
I'm just most excited about the experience. Not every kid gets to play in Fenway Stadium and where the Red Sox play and everything, and it's going to be an awesome experience. I'm looking forward to just, taking it all in and enjoying it while it's here, and just being thankful that I'm in the situation that I'm in.
Well, making me jealous. We don't get to hit BP at Fenway Park with all the history that's gone here, especially me as a Red Sox fan growing up. But, Zach, thank you for joining me here on the Birds broadcast.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Again, that was Zach Kokoska, delivered the sacrifice fly in the 7th after the 2-run triple by Zach Daniels. Again, we resulted in a tie here in Cotuit at Lowell Park. Again, 3-3 ball game. As, again, we'll be off tomorrow as the Firebirds and the rest of the Cape League will head out to Fenway for a pro day in front of a bunch of scouts. So hit BP, infield, outfield, and there's a 60-yard dash in there as well. So players going to showcase their skills. Also, a little bit of using some of the other tools aspect in the game, using the vision, for example, the vision tests and all these bunch of tests that go on at Fenway. We'll explain more tomorrow, I'm sure. Again, the Firebirds, they tie here out of Cotuit. Game called after 9 due to darkness. The Kettleers will come back. They'll come this time to Orleans on Friday night. So after the off tomorrow, we'll see you back on Friday in Orleans to face these same Cotuit Kettleers. For our sideline reporter, Scotty Gange, our producer, Bryce Johnson, my broadcast partner, Josh White, I'm Thomas Inzarella saying so long from Lowell Park. Again, the Firebirds and Kettleers Game called due to darkness, tied at 3.